Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am back in H-Town. Okay, it was a little ride. It was one, oh my God, the day I had yesterday. Y'all, I couldn't make this just no regular post. I had to go live. And I'm just going to start here. People jump in, come in as you come in. God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. Let me tell y'all, I lost a little bit of my voice this morning because I had to take it all in. And I know the girls and other honorees and everybody's up posting and posting. I had to have a moment with my father. Good morning, Sister Sherry. I see you, girl. Good morning. I'm just in awe of yesterday. It came out of nowhere. We were honored at the Austin Hip Hop Awards. And thank you, sister. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. And I had to take a moment first with my father before I come to Facebook or social media or whatever. And we had 2 minutes to talk, and I'm going to tell you, it just ain't never enough for me, okay? Because y'all know I can go. Sister, you know I can go, okay? But I wanted to respect the time, so I gave her overall of what I really, really wanted to say. And first, I got to give honor and glory to God because that came out of nowhere for me. You know, as life goes, we're running, and all of a sudden you get a call or you get a text or you get a message, hey, somebody wants to get in touch with you. You know, they're doing this thing, da-da-da-da-da. Those moments happen in life, and when they do, it's like, oh, my God. You know, okay, it was just like, it took me back 30 years, more than 30 years, right? So what I want to say is I want to talk about the Coolie Girls, what the Coolie Girls stood for, what we were about. I want to talk about part of my testimony in being a part of Coolie Girls and Coolie Nation and my hometown of Austin, Texas. I want to thank those who have supported, who came out. And it's so many people. It's so much that I needed to say and so many people that I needed to mention that I just blanketed with everybody or all of y'all. And for me personally, so many people like you, Sister Sherry, who has continued to pray me through some of my darkest hours and moments in life in recent. And I call them moments because that's exactly what they are. This too shall pass type of thing, you know, so they are just moments. And I just thank God so much for those who support me that people don't see, who hold me down fervently on their knees in prayer, or wherever they are, they remember to lift me up. And I so appreciate you. Thank you, Terry. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carol. You know you one of the people that I wanted to get on and say thank you, because though I don't think people always realize what it takes for me to show up, sister, you put on your event the night before in Houston, Texas, Murder the Mic. I was honored to be on your panel and pour into the younger generation of artists. And I want to thank you that you and your baby girl woke up and got yourselves together and drove from Houston to Austin to support and be a part of the event. And I just appreciate you for that. And I thank God for you for that, because I know it takes a lot to get yourself together, get dressed, get cute, travel, check your finances and stuff like that, you know, make sure it fits in your budget. So I thank you for pouring in. And in saying that, even those that didn't make it, you represented so many others for me. And I know they're there in spirit. I know they're riding with me from afar, because I ride with a lot of people from afar. But sister, I just want to salute you for being a woman of empowerment, truly, because not only do you invite me on and empower me on your platform, I'm able to pour into what you do as well and bring what I have to empower others on that platform. So I want to say that. Oh, thank you, Sister Sherry. I absolutely do, because when I go in my prayer, or even if God drop you in my spirit, I'm always praying. I'm one of those people that I'm watching what God is doing in your life with Women of Unity, and you always being so, what can I say? I didn't cry yesterday and I didn't go there because it would have made me cry. And you know, a girl want to keep her makeup right and not make a scene. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say I just appreciate those who cover me in the blood of Jesus always, because ultimately, thank you. Yes, Carol. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. And I always want to thank you for doing the work, like I said, that you may not get recognized for. I want you to know I see you. I thank you. I thank you, just both of you, Carol and Sherry, for what God has called you to. I see you being faithful in that, and that speaks volumes to me. You being just a little older than me, being my sisters, and I look at y'all like big sisters that God sent to cover me while my own blood sister is no longer here. And Terry, you've always been a support, always been show up as a vessel of God in me and my children's lives at different times. And I thank you for the moments and conversations we've shared, all of you. God has blessed me to have that kind of thing with certain people, to where I just bond with them, or they bond with me, or they don't give up on me, and they allow me, or allow God to try me and do what he gonna do in my life. And no matter how I may come across, you just stay prayerful and hopeful that the girl will overcome yet again another hurdle in her life. And I pray the same for you, and I thank you for standing strong, because I know it takes a lot to continue doing what you're doing. And I'm talking about those moments where you do doubt, where you do question yourself, where you do wonder, is this what God wants you to do? And am I blessing people? Am I making a difference? I'm here to confirm you absolutely are. You absolutely are. We don't know the lives that we touch, which is why yesterday was just so amazing. And just like God did it before, he started it all, he did this. I just love the opportunity, or what word I want to use, y'all. I'm still rolling on fumes, but I had to wake up and go on and get this out my chest and get my mocha, okay? But it's just amazing that he would bring this back around to where the city of Austin would want to honor things that we did, and just being creative and expressing ourselves, and appreciating the work that we put in. Thing is, it wasn't really work for me. I could, speaking for myself, I don't think it was work for any of us. We loved being able to perform. We loved the craft. We loved the art. We loved hip hop. I loved writing. I needed an outlet. Because my personal life, it could be a pill. So I thank God for giving me a way to express myself in writing. That was his gift to me. And I have to look up and say, wow, thank you, God. You chose me. He could have chose anybody else in Austin to do what we did. But he handpicked all of the women in the Cooley Girls and all of the men in Cooley Nation, the managers. God handpicked everybody. Yes, he did. He made it happen. A lot of artists today, they pay to get on. We had to invest in ourselves as well. But I mean, they do a lot of things that may not be of themselves to say, hey, I'm hot, look at me. We just kept showing up every opportunity, and God just kept bringing them, and we kept showing up as our best selves. So with that being said, I do want to share that, though we, a lot of people say, yeah, handpick, sister. Thank you, Mira. I appreciate you. I love you, Keisha, my sister, Cooley Girl in the chat, y'all. Cooley Girl number 4 in the chat. So now this is my live, so I can talk. Y'all hang in there as you can. You gotta go. You can come back later, but I really need to get this off my chest, and I don't want to hold what God wants to share through me. So here I am. When Cooley Girl started, It was really about, me and my sister were taught to serve growing up in church, from Rosewood Baptist Church to New Lincoln. Our family being a family of faith at its core, knowing God, loving God. That's all I've ever known. Before I ever knew what to call him, I knew he was God. I had a connection and a relationship. I can remember being maybe 4 years old and talking to God and did not understand his name about worshiping. I didn't even know the word yet, but I was talking to something. I was communicating with God. It's the only way I can say it. But there was a turn of events at a point in my life when my great auntie died, who was raising me and my sister. And when we lived with them, it was the best time of me and my sister's lives. So the fact that we weren't being raised by both of our parents, we didn't notice, because they lived in a neighborhood where all the elders, Bandera Road, 78721, I went to Sims Elementary. So if you're from Austin, you know what it is, right across from your folks, the mirror. So that's where we started from. And that was when I knew I was on the earth and I was alive. My great Uncle Will, who was married into the family, I didn't know the difference. He was like a father, but we called him Uncle Will. But to me, it was like saying daddy. And my aunt, my great aunt, we called her mama. She did things that a mother would do for us, even though at some point we knew who our mother was, we knew who our real father was, but we wasn't missing nothing, so it wasn't a big deal. And during that time, they took great care of us. They raised our mom. All of my mama's siblings and her were adopted out of our family. And I tell this story in my book, but I'm not going to hold back from sharing it with you today. I just want to give, and I need to get this out in my voice. And I pray you still would support the book and go read it for yourself. But Uncle Will was, I don't know if he was a musician. I just know he worked at the gas company. And if I could describe him, he was just a hustler. He was a go-getter. He worked hard. He provided for his family. He was a man's man. He tended the garden. He was just an amazing individual. And when my mom and them was adopted out because of some things going on with my grandfather and my mother, them being Mitchells, and one day Uncle Will saw my mom and them standing on the porch. I guess they didn't know where all the kids had been split up at in two. And y'all stay with me because I'm going somewhere. If not, come back and God is moving right now, and I'm going to let him use me, if you don't mind. And this is near and dear to my heart, but I want to share really who I am with you. And so I want you to know the testimony. And so anyway, so one day, as the story goes, Uncle Will was somewhere on Heflin Lane. They were in a foster home. Three of them were together, my mom and two of my uncles. The other children were adopted out in other places, one to Houston, one to San Antonio, a few in Austin, and but those three were together. And I want to say my mom is the oldest. Lord, forgive me for forgetting, but I should know this, but it's written. So when he saw them, he described them as being emaciated, in a way, dirty, filthy. He recognized them, though. God let him recognize them. He went home, and he went to his wife, which is my aunt, my grandfather's sister, my mom's dad, and said, do you want some more kids? And she said, what do you mean? They already had my cousin, who was a child from her previous relationship. But Uncle Will had other kids from a previous relationship. But they came together, and it is what it is. So she said, well, who are you talking about? What kids? And he said, Dottie Jr. and Joe. And I'm just giving y'all the story as I remember and was told. And so they ended up adopting them back into our family. back into the Mitchell family. And with that being said, thus, when you have kids, you know, sometimes the grandparents end up raising the kids, and that's how me and my sister came about living with them. And so they would be, I guess, our grandparents if things were in order. Now, my mom tells the story as though it was a really rough time for them. It was not easy for them. And I'm sure it wasn't easy for them to take them in and adopt them and raise them, but they did it. My mom ended up getting married to my dad, and they had my sister Tracy. She's not the oldest. I do have a brother, Jeffrey, who was by another woman. And as the story goes, my mom was my dad's first choice, but he was also dating another woman. And my mom ended up leaving for California for a time because she tried to commit suicide. This is her story, and I'm not trying to degrade her in any way or share anything that would cast a bad light on who God called her to be and the things she faced in life, because she did lead so many in the family to Christ, as I'm told. And so I'm grateful for the woman that she became. But she, from what I remember, she shot herself in the stomach, and she did not know she was pregnant, and that would have been her first child. My dad, so she ended up going to California with her dad. By this time, of course, him and my grandmother were not together. As the story goes, one of the kids lit a fire in the house, and that's how they ended up taking them. It was like 8 kids or siblings. And again, it's documented. I'm just going off the dome. And so they took the kids, and that's how they ended up in foster care. So when my mom came back, my dad had married my oldest brother's mom, who is Hispanic, and which makes no difference, but this is a part of why I love everybody. I don't really care about all the racial stuff. I deal with the heart of a person, the spirit that's in a person. I'm really not, but I'm down for my folks, and I'm down for understanding the history of black people and the struggle, or indigenous, aboriginal, whatever you want to call us. I am Cherokee and Blackfoot Indian as well, and I do honor that part of who I am. So from my dad's side. So anyway, one day my dad ended up seeing my mom walking down the street. She came back to Austin from California, and he ended up somewhere along the way having a relationship with both of them. I don't know how that happened, but I wasn't there. I know he divorced my brother's mom, which she ended up pregnant with my brother at the time. And then my dad married my mom, so she's the second wife. And they got pregnant with my sister Tracy. So they are only 2 months apart. So I'm not even going to go there. They were young. They were in their young 20s. It is what it is, right? My mom said they were very close. They were really good friends. They talked about going into the army or the military. Like, they had dreams and goals and stuff like that. And I wanted to know that, and I'm glad she shared that with me, because I wonder why they hated each other so much, or so it seemed. Why they didn't communicate, why there was no love there, and they have 2 kids. I don't think they were married longer than a year or 2 by the time they got pregnant with me. But as the story goes, and as I'm told, and I have been told by family members, that they do not want me to share this part of the story. But I asked, listen, do you want me to listen to you, or you want me to listen to God? And of course, I was told to listen to God. Then I have to share my truth, and I've held a lot of it in long enough. Okay? And I pack it everywhere I go. And I need to tell the story that my mom can't even tell, because she's not here. And if anyone in my family is ashamed, or they feel bad, or they feel like people that know them it's embarrassing to them. I choose to share things about my life when people say you real, because why would I pretend that God has saved me out of some water, or that it was simple for him to do what he's done to keep me in my life? And in times that I was deep in sin, God kept me. Why would I not tell the story? Because I truly believe my mother should have shared her story with the world. And there was some blockage there for her. But she shared it with us. And so I'm going to share that part of the story. And then maybe, it could be understood how great and powerful and mighty God really is, and how real he really is. So, with that being said, they got married, got pregnant with me. My mom said it turned into a very abusive relationship. I don't owe nobody nothing to continue packing this. God has taken me through a season in my life, baby. Listen, I'm no longer people pleasing. Okay, I'm gonna be a vessel for God. I didn't ask for this life. I didn't ask for this journey. I didn't ask to face the choices and decisions that I had to face and make, and some of them were wrong. I didn't ask for none of this. So therefore, it was handed to me. So I have to share it. I just ended up on the planet, just like you. We just landed here. So who are people to judge your story or look down on you because of the way your life went, or decisions you made, or things that happened? Who are people to judge? And you ain't got to pack that, because this is God's design. This is God's plan. He already knew before you got here. With that being said, my mom says her side of the story. I've heard both sides of the story from my mom and my dad. They did get Tracy right as a baby. Let me say that. I think they kept her a lot. I didn't move in with them till they said I was 3 years old when I came to them, when my mom brought me to them, to live with them as well, for them to raise me, because she was just going through a lot. And so going back, she was about maybe 7-8 months pregnant with me. Let me show you how the devil been on a girl, okay? So please don't be mad at me for things I've done. I mean, if you is, it is what it is. But look, yeah, she's something else, honey. Because I know this story that I'm about to share, this part of the story, it makes so much sense to me why the enemy has been attacking me all my life. And it makes even more sense why God been keeping me and just doing miraculous things, and things that, like being a part of the Cookie Girls, and being recognized and honored even today. Anyway, let me go forward. So they had a really bad fight. It was just getting worse and worse and worse. And that I learned that if somebody hits you, baby, trust me and believe, they'll try to break your neck the next time. They might put you in your grave. Things will progress. Once you jump off the diving board, you can always jump. It's part of your life and your truth. Amen. Say that, Terry. We done talked. I don't mind them one-on-ones, okay? We go in for hours. Good morning, Mr. DJ. How are you? Thank you. We all have a story, exactly. So I hope in me sharing mine will bless you to be able to be released and free to share yours wherever God directs you to do so. So anyway, with that being said, she said it was a really bad fight. Of course, they had my sister there with them, and she left. And she left my sister behind. And this is coming from my mother. And she said that she knew that he loved Tracy. Like, Tracy was the apple of everybody's eye. She was the first grandchild, at least I know from my mom. I'd have to really think about it to know who was first. So family, forgive me. But they, like my aunt and my great aunt and Uncle Will and Aunt Margaret, they loved the Lewises. They loved Tracy. So I guess when they dropped her off, it was a situation where they'll pick her back up. So my mama left her behind with my daddy. She was in fear. My daddy was a provider. He bought a home for them. He talked about how he bought her a brand new car, like he wanted to spoil my mom. I believe he really did love her. He's still a great provider in his home. I can't say he did so great for us, but he's a great provider. I got to give him that. Good morning, Daryl. So with that, my mom said it was about 2 weeks later. If my dad tells a story, she just ran off and went to partying and doing her thing. That from my mother's side, and I believe her, that she just was in fear, and she knew my dad would at least take care of Tracy. She's pregnant with me. She don't know where she gonna go, and she didn't want to take Tracy out in the middle of the night and just run off with her, and she just needed to get away from him. That's how bad that particular fight was. And my mama a fighter. I am her child, baby. We don't care if you a gorilla. You gonna have to damn near kill me, because I just came back down. So, but I'm glad she left being pregnant. And so that part of the story really hurts me. Like, Daddy, for real? But I'm sure he wasn't thinking about that. You know, he didn't know me and I didn't know him yet. So my mom says a couple of weeks later, it could have been a couple of months, but she said she didn't know where they were, and she had been looking for them. And she was trying to find Tracy, and she finally got word that Tracy was with him at his girlfriend's house. Well, at her mom's, his girlfriend's mom's house. That's where they were hiding out. They still had an outhouse in the back. And so I'm going to tell you why that's significant. So my mom, I guess, tried to go get Tracy, and they was like, no, you ain't getting her, gone on, whatever. I think at the time, somehow my mom was going through the course. It's probably what made 2 weeks turn into 2 months. I'm not sure. But I do recall my mama saying she came back with paperwork. Well, what happened in that instance was, this is the first part. What happened in that instance, she's 8 months pregnant now with me. The mother-in-law pulls a double-barrel shotgun on my mama and put it to her face, to her stomach, somewhere. My daddy's right there. He's not defending my mom. He's right there, 3 people yelling and screaming at her. I guess that's why I don't like people bullying people that I know ain't got that heart for that shit, okay? I will defend people. I don't like that. I wish I was there. I was there, but I was in the womb. The devil was trying to kill me before I got here. And he been working on it ever since. I remember I used to talk about my testimony when I was in the streets and hoeing up a storm and cutting up. I would say, this was my thought, I'm sorry. I used to help the devil try to kill me. And because of that 4 years, walking in the streets, visiting at the Fifth Ward and all over Houston, Texas, doing my thing. Okay, y'all couldn't see me, so I wasn't worried about it. And at the time, I felt like I had loved so many people for free. Well, I might as well, okay? My rationale was crazy, but I need to eat type thing. Okay, so whatever. I realized in that span of time, that moment in my life, devil, you must ain't got no power to kill me, because like I'm really trying to help you. I'm really trying to help you. So in that moment, I realized maybe God do have all the power. There is a God, because I am at it cutting up. But anyway, so when she pulled the gun on my mom, she left. We ain't got paperwork, got custody of me and sole custody of me and my sister. And she went back with the police, 2 of her brothers, or 1 of her brothers, and her best friend. And I'm sorry, the story is so cold that I pause, because I am carefully trying to speak too, but be real at the same time. She went back, and the police made them bring my sister out, and they said that she was so dirty. They got her out of they was hiding her in the outhouse. and that her bottle was caked up with milk. It was not good. And I can imagine how my mom felt seeing her firstborn like that. So when she got her back, somehow she ended up permanently with my great aunt and uncle. And I guess my mom tried to make it with me by herself. And I'm sure she hadn't all the way figured things out. And so I know there's some people that, that had to keep me, watch over me, and be there for her. So I do remember a lot of those people that supported her. And eventually, though, she had to take me to them when I was 3. So now it's me and Tracy. And I have to tell you how it must have been difficult for her. It must have been really difficult for her. Because no matter what I go through, this is the reason why I'm not leaving mine. If I got to do it by myself, as long as they with me, that's all that matters. Then I know they safe. I'm not going to let it happen to my babies. And I've stepped in on other children in our family because I wasn't going to let it happen to them. Nobody's going back in the foster care system. Some I was able to stop it, and some I wasn't. And so anyway, they took great care of us on Bandera Road. Do you hear me? Uncle Will was a riot, okay? And Aunt Margaret was like, Tracy was more close to her. That was her baby. And somehow I knew that. I was Uncle Will's baby. I followed him all over the place. I was the son he never had, okay? Like, he was good. He had already raised my cousin or whatever. So he's older than me. He's like the same age as my mom and them generations. So therefore, by the time we came along, we were spoiled. We were introduced to, music. We've been playing records since day one, since I can remember. I remember having a Raggedy Ann little recording thing, and me and Tracy would dance and perform for family functions. Uncle Will would give us dollars and change, candy, whatever. I raked the yard with him. I crushed cans with him. He took us to the gas company. Like, they let us be kids. Like, it wasn't really... we probably need a little more discipline than we got, because when Uncle Will did get the belt, he'd be hitting everything with us, okay? And then sit us on his lap and laugh with us and say who you love, and we always be like, you, Uncle Will. And Margaret was more stern, but she took great care of us, like from head to toe. Our hair done every weekend. We used to go to a lady that had a beauty shop on around the corner on Weaverville Road. And so it was church every Sunday. It was Luby's after church every Sunday. They owned their home. They were just, to me, they were amazing people. Now, do the generation before had they complaints about getting whooped, and they was tough back then. They used to whoop you butt with extension cords or whatever they could get on you, get you right. I don't know, but they were great with us. I actually at that time, they were old enough to where they had separate rooms. They had been married for years. And so Tracy slept in the room with Aunt Margaret. I slept in the room with Uncle Will. And I can tell you that because Uncle Will never, ever once did anything to make me feel some type of way. You would think that's odd, but that was my daddy. He was my mom and daddy wrapped in one. As far as Aunt Margaret, we were close, but she took good care of me. But Tracy was her baby. I was his baby. And he taught me that's why you see, that girl, she a little rough around the edges. Yes, baby, I rake yards. I ride the lawnmower. I would change a tire. I would do what it takes. So I guess that's where the hustler comes from, because even though Uncle Will had a full-time job, he just did everything. He barbecued. He tended the garden. I'd be out there with him when he built us a playhouse in the backyard, like a real playhouse. It was just an amazing life. It was an amazing life. My dad would come pick us up, and some of his girlfriends would come pick us up and take us with them. And so we were riding his big 18-wheeler truck. He'd take us to Capitol Plaza, McDonald's or something, and he just show out being him while the girls loving him in the truck and stuff, and me and Tracy be playing around in the back of his bed. So we knew who our dad was. He visited just as much as my mama in my recollection. I can remember my mama coming, and she would come on Christmas and wrap gifts and stuff like that, you know, and just hang out, or Thanksgiving. You know, these were elders in the family, and a lot of our elders were still married, like they were married unto death. So this was our environment. So our cousins, being with them, going to the country on weekends, and just all kind of stuff like that, where we dug our food up out the ground, you know, things like that. It was, nobody ever said no. Whatever we wanted from Santa Claus, we got it. Whatever me and Tracy, if I said, Uncle Will, I want a pancake this size, I want one pan sausage, I want this, he would make exactly that. He would not forget what I told him. But one of the greatest things I can look back and appreciate about him now is every night before bed, me and him would get on our knees and pray. That was a man leading me. So it's really been hard to find that kind of leadership. Men should be leaders of their homes. And, you know, I look back and be like, you know, when I look at some of the men today, a whole lot of them, it's like they don't, I wonder, do they do that? Because he did that. And that was every single night. He never missed it. It was church. It was youth meeting. It was choir. So I've always been on the mic. You remember when they used to give you the little scriptures and everybody get their little piece that they going to say in the play for the Christmas play or Easter play or whatever, from choir to whatever. One day in church, was tugging on Uncle Will's jacket, and I saw a lady give her testimony on the mic. She was just in tears. I was like 6 or 7 years old. I want to say I was 7. And it was just so powerful. I was just stuck, you know, just watching her. And I was like, but that mic, it was something about that microphone. It was calling me, you hear me? And so, you know, from dancing at family gatherings and stuff like that, like me and Tracy always performed. We always got together and did cheers in the front yard. We'd be like, here come another car. Come on, we going on bananas. Hey, you know, our friends in the neighborhood, everybody, like, it was just a free-for-all. They were just the type, like, neighbors' kids would come to the house in the morning, and Margaret would have breakfast for everybody. Uncle Will cooked too. Like, it was nothing. Like, we ate hog maws and chitlins and tamales and what's that corn? The cornbread with your buttermilk. Like, we grew up like that, and it was just an amazing life. And I tugged on Uncle Will in church, and I said, I want to go up there, because people was giving their life to Christ. They wanted to get baptized. I said, I want to go up there. I want to do that. And then he leaned over and he was like, we're going to talk about it. So I remember on the ride home, he was like, are you sure? He wanted to make sure I understood what that was. Baby, when I tell you, hey, Toya, hey, is that Ray? I seen you, Ray. I seen y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stick to the story and not Terry. So I apologize, but I see y'all coming in. So anyway, so the next Sunday, he was like, I was like, am I going to get to go up there? I'm tugging on him. And he was like, yeah, because he explained to me about giving my life to Christ, that I believe that Jesus was the Son of God, that he died for our sins, he was resurrected. He explained all that to me. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to get in that water. I want to get baptized. So me and my sister did, me and Tracy. I remember them having us in the back, getting us dressed, putting the thing on our heads and stuff. And I remember going down in that water, and it was so cold, but it was so peaceful. It was magical. It was, I can't even describe what it felt like, but it was really, really cold. It was scary, but I was determined. I was going in. For some reason, I was drawn in. And I want to say it was Pastor Garrett who baptized me. Anyway, it was almost like, when I look back through some moments in my life, can you believe I ever regretted that? Because I said it was at that moment, it was shortly after that, and Margaret ended up not being home so often and being in the hospital. We didn't really know where she was at first. We just knew it was Uncle Will caring for us more than, things just seemed to get a little dim. And so finally my mom came and picked us up one day. I remember going to Holy Cross Hospital, and we was excited to see Aunt Margaret. And I'm like, which we still at the time called her mama. We called my mama too when she come to visit. Like, she tried to assert her look like I'm here, you know, but mama, Aunt Margaret was just naturally roll off our tongue. It was a little odd to call my mama. And I could feel that as a child. You know, I could feel a little tension between them. But anyway, so we were excited to get out the car. My mom was like, nah, y'all stay in the car. So we never got to see her alive again after that. She had cancer. And I remember a phone call. She was talking to Uncle Will on the phone, and Tracy was staring out the window of the house. And I was looking at Tracy. I was concerned about her because she was always happy, always free going. She was just spoiled. I mean, she was on a bottle till she was 4 years old, okay? This girl here, everybody in the family loved Tracy. She was first place, okay? I knew I was second, but it was okay. But maybe that's why I always like to show up and get it in, baby. I'm going to give you, I prove myself. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's where that came from. But one day my mom picked us up from school. We was at Sims Elementary, and her eyes was just bloodshot red. She was with her best friend, who I call my Aunt Linda. She's always been Aunt Linda, and Uncle Frederick over there. I knew that was a friend of hers that loved her. Like, so she was there since I was a baby. She used to always grab my cheeks and give me money and stuff. But I knew she loved me, and I thought she was so pretty. But their eyes were so red that day. They wasn't laughing like they normally laugh and joke. And it wasn't normal for my mom to pick us up from school. So I was like, something's off here. But it was like, you know, we glad to see her, okay. And we ain't tripping when she leave. Like, we didn't care. I'm like, it didn't bother us. I don't know what the world was saying to her, but she did the right thing, leaving us right there. It was Wonderland. So before we got ready to go walk in the house, she just busted out crying, leaning on the front of the car. And we looked at her, and like, we connected to her, but we not really that emotionally connected to her. But we had never seen her cry at all. Not like this. I've seen her come over and sit down, and maybe her and Uncle Will, you know, they were close. She would talk to him about whatever she was going through and in life, and he would just encourage her and minister to her. So I remember those things. And so anyway, she just crying uncontrollably. Like, I'm like, what is going on? And she told us that Aunt Margaret died. And I'm just like, Tracy bust out crying and running the house. I'm like, what is going? It didn't register with me. What I was saying before, when Uncle Will was on the phone with Tracy this particular night, and it was before she died. I guess she was in the hospital. And Tracy was looking out the window. I was so worried for her because Uncle Will asked her if she wanted to talk to Aunt Margaret on the phone, and she was like, no. I knew she knew something I didn't know, but I mean, I was young. I'm free-flowing. I'm the baby in the house, so I'm oblivious, but I'm paying attention to Tracy, and I'm just so concerned for her because she shook her head. She was like, no, I don't want to talk. And I knew that was odd. You her baby, and you don't want to talk to her? We ain't talked to her. So I felt bad, and I didn't want Aunt Margaret to feel bad that Tracy wouldn't talk to her. So I said, I'll talk to her. And so they put me on the phone, but I knew Tracy was the one she wanted to talk to. And I have to say, it never made me feel bad. I don't know why. It never made me feel bad. I just knew Tracy would, you know, always had to go to doctors sometime, and she had asthma and stuff like that. So she was always babied in that way. Me, I got to go to my best friend Georgina's house. I got to go over everybody's house. I got to roam the streets. I got to do, you know, and I'm not really the streets, but they would have to drop me off at people's house to watch me or whatever. So I had fun, you know. God is so good because many places, people's house I went to as a kid, baby, nobody ever harmed or hurt me. You know what I'm saying? So, hello, Kelly. I'm here, baby. I'm here. I heard the word, the voice of the Lord through you yesterday. I want to thank you. I'm here. And so, I'm going to continue with the story. But, so, with that being said, she died. And it was my birthday. It was the week of my 8th birthday, which was her, what do you call the memorial before the actual funeral? when we go view the body and stuff like that, and families everywhere, everybody's over, food is everywhere. And I remember sitting at the table with all this food, and I'm like, why ain't nobody happy? This is my birthday. And it's crazy because I don't think it registered to me that Aunt Margaret was never coming back, that she was truly never going to be in our lives. And I didn't know how much our lives was about to change. Oh my God. Right after I got baptized. When I tell you, this is not a game. Spiritually, this is not a game. Not only was Satan already mad because he couldn't kill me in the womb, okay? He mad that a girl gave her life to Christ early, you hear me? I heard the voice of the Lord early, baby. He was hot and bothered, okay? And them two sisters together, me and Tracy, was best friends. If we was gonna fight, we fought each other. But really in that house, I don't remember being at each other's throat. Like, that was my sister. You know, and of course she could try to beat up on me a little bit, you know. We was a little rough around the edges, but it wasn't out of hate, you know. I knew she was like just being, I don't know, strong, I don't know what to say right now on that. But anyway, so during that time, it was my 8th birthday, and so it was shortly after Aunt Margaret's funeral. Seeing her in the casket is when I realized, you know, she was dead, but I still didn't understand the dead body. I still didn't understand why she couldn't get up. It just hadn't dawned on me. I'm just wondering, what are all these people? You know, I'm still in my same energy, running out in everybody's face, running all over the place, you know, whatever. We, you know, we at church, we go outside, kids play, it's food, it's whatever. I did not understand what this was really going to mean to my life. And so it wasn't too long after that, my mom started visiting more and more, picking us up more and more. And I remember her coming in, her and Uncle Will sitting across from the table, and they started talking about, my mom said, Erica and Tracy's coming to live with me. Baby, I'm like, hold on. What just happened? Now, mind you, she had showed us her little Section 8 house she was finna get, I want to say, and, you know, hyped us up like she had prayed for a house, and, you know, we gonna be a family. And I remember me and Tracy acting excited, but we didn't really mean to. Baby, if you took that as though we want to go with you and we wanted our lives to change, baby, you got the wrong message. When I tell you, kids don't know, like we don't think, we don't really know what's about to happen, okay? We don't have a clue. We had no idea. Baby, this is how we ended up at 78723 Overbrook Drive, okay? Main Road, baby. I had been to Sims Elementary. I'm east side my whole life. So now we on the northeast, and this is a whole nother world, okay? My stepdaddy is a street nigga, is how they described him, okay? This nigga was vicious. I had never entertained such. I do remember when my mama started dating him, that when she first came and got us, it was at night, and she said she wanted to take us for a ride in his orange Cadillac. I don't know if any older folks on here know about him in that orange Cadillac, but we had never seen one. This is like an upgraded vehicle. This got power buttons and stuff, okay? Now, mind you, we live in a house where we do what we want. When we ask for something, it's provided. And we can basically just be kids, and they love us over here, okay? So when she put us in the car and introduced us to him, and we like, okay, we think we're safe. And mind you, the cars that we used to, you roll the window up, okay? Ain't no power on cars yet like that. So this is power. So I remember when my mom put us in the back seat, shut the door, and she said, don't touch them buttons. Don't touch them buttons, girl. You talking to Erica and Tracy, girl. You must don't know us like that. Baby, I want you to know, I had touched that button, do you hear me? And that window moved. All hell broke loose in an instant, baby. That is the first day I remember meeting Satan himself. Because Uncle Will and our uncles and people in our family, they protected us like, you don't mess with Erica and Tracy. And it's not like we knew that. We just had this knowing that we were safe. We just, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, this wasn't safe. That man looked back at me. I'm talking about the eyes that I had never had an adult look at me with eyes like that. And he went off. Didn't I tell you not to touch my mother? Didn't she tell you don't touch my mother? I had never had nobody cuss at me like that. Nobody ever talked to us like that. We hear cuss words in the family, but to look at me with such, to me it was pure evil. And God rest his soul, because there's a testimony in him too, about him too. But I won't keep y'all all day. Hang in there as long as you can. But we're going to get off whatever the Lord want to get off, okay? When I tell you I was shook in my bones. Now, mind you, Uncle Will was the one who, from the time I can remember, Erica's a fighter. You're strong. He always built me up to protect myself. You know, he would always encourage me just to, like, whatever I did, like, okay, that's probably why I ended up battling weight, baby. But if I liked Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, he gonna go get 5 boxes, make sure I don't never run out. If I say, ooh, now Snickers is my favorite candy, he gonna go get a whole pack of them and let me have my way. You know what I'm saying? Baby, he just spoiled the girl. Yeah, that wasn't good now, Uncle Will. What I tell you, so this is what we used to, okay? We used to, our neighbors, they loved on us. It was always family, so, and friends were family. So we wasn't used to, I would never encounter nobody like him. And my mom did not jump in, like, don't talk to my girls like that. She just basically, like, jumped in with him, like, didn't I tell you don't touch it? She didn't really go off. I don't remember her cussing us out. But it's like, girl, we don't even know you like that for real. You can let me back up out of here, because I don't care nothing about the orange Cadillac. We going back in here. We was getting ready to go night-night on schedule and take our baths and get powder on and lotion. You know, we finna go in here with this. I don't know what this is. So I'm stunned. Because that fight in me rose up, because, nigga, I know you ain't talking to me like for real. But that was the first time I felt fear. That's the first time I remember feeling real fear. And I think from that point on, I decided I'm going to face my fears. I don't give a dang if it kills me. But what you will not do is make me feel that again. So imagine, we probably met him, I want to say I had to be about 4 or 5 at the time. So by the time, I know he had like a prison stint in between him and Mom's relationship somewhere, and I don't know, didn't care. We was over there in Happy Land, okay? I didn't know nothing about her life. What I do remember is visiting with them when they were together. And he had this mean, he was just mean. You know, he didn't hold his tongue. He cussed us out. You know the ones, you know how we do. Yeah, get your motherfucking ass, get your goddamn motherfucker, I'll kick you off in your ass. Yeah, it was that. And we like, okay, all of a sudden we got step family and all these other people, and they were great. But this nigga is crazy. Okay? So imagine, we didn't like visiting my mom. It was always dark in our house. But she would minister to us, though. She would always feel the need to talk to us. I remember laughing about something somebody didn't have, or I mentioned it, and it was like she checked me. She said, Erica, some people don't have this, that, and the other. How dare you? You don't do that. And and I was like, whoa. I received that message, okay? Like, she was so passionate about me not judging people for what we had everything. So I can appreciate that today, because I'm not one of those people that mistreat people because of what they don't have, the lack of. I try to pour into them and make them feel just as special as the next person. So when people are saying, Erica, you're great, and thank you, idol, and this and then the other, like Nick was saying last night, I'm like, well, I want to make you feel as great as you think I am. So you're so beautiful too. You're so amazing. You're so awesome. You know what I mean? Because people, that jealous and envy spirit can come in, baby, because she thinks she all that. Now, you baby, trust and believe I paid for this. So when you looking at people's life and think, I want to be like them, you don't want this cup. You do not want this cup. This story, I ain't even got to the meat of the thing. So anyway, we moved in with my mom. We had to pack our bags. Trust me, we fought tooth and nail. I did not want to leave my uncle. I knew what my aunt meant to him. They loved each other. We never saw them argue, except for maybe once or twice. And when they did, me and Tracy started breaking dishes and glasses. Y'all don't fight. That's what they didn't do. They had respect for one another. It was not volatile at all. I'm talking about maybe once or twice. But because they turned their attention to us, the argument stopped. So they never, even if they disagreed or argued, they never belittled each other. They didn't cuss at each other. He loved her. He called her hun and she called him baby. I mean, whatever. They were affectionate. Maybe because they were elders and they'd already raised another set. I don't know. They had got the game down. You know what I'm saying? But they were, it was just amazing. I haven't yet to experience that in my life, but I do have something to go off of, okay? Oh, he was a real man, and I want to share those images. I have before, but I have to lift them up because he imparted something in me, Terry, that I would never forget. I'm sorry. It's just the beginning of who I am on earth, okay? But so with that being said, anyway, imagine we gets in this house. I didn't know he was coming. So we gets in this house with her. She didn't demand that we come live with her. She wasn't backing down. There was nothing Uncle Will could do. That's when we found out, well, there's a difference. He's just married into the family. He's not y'all real uncle. Girl, we don't care about what you talking about. What you mean he ain't blood? I don't know about blood. What is you talking about? Like, I didn't know I was closer to him than I was Aunt Margaret. So don't care. What I want to do is go home. Like, so when they walked us in, I remember it was at night. It was dark, and I remember my mom escorting us to a room. I think they was having a party. I think it's my first time smelling marijuana, like for real. So, but she marched us off so we couldn't see what was going on. I don't think they was doing anything like that was disrespectful, but it was grown folks having a get together party. It was music. It was all that. So she marched us down the hallway to the room. And she told us to get in the bed. They must just moved in because it was baskets, clothes everywhere. Mattress was on the floor. And me and Tracy laid back and pulled that cover up to our neck and looked over each other. I can't even remember which one of us asked the other, but one of us said, "Are you scared? You scared?" And one of us said yes, and the other one said, "Me too." And we went to sleep. And we woke up to a whole nother life. And my mom treated us like she knew us. Like, it was day one. Baby, y'all, this is the new rules. Get yourself together, baby. You on dishes, get your overgrown asses, do this, do that. And y'all just this, and y'all fast, or y'all grown, y'all overgrown. Lady, wait a minute. Like, even she switched it up. Like, okay. And then this man walking around, I will put my foot in your ass, and y'all, like, you fat and you black and you ugly and you hateful and you mean and you this, and I'm talking about, you talking about shocking. You talking about shocked. Nigga, what? And I'm quite sure the type of kids we was at the time, we looked at that nigga so cross-eyed like, nigga, what? And he wanted to kill us, okay? So it did come to a point where he was no longer allowed to put his hands on us or whoop us no more. But I want you to know, that's where that anger and that rage was building. Do you hear me? So my stepfather was something. He was a force to be reckoned with, okay? You didn't play with him. If he got into it with you, you was going to be hurt. It was gonna be ambulances on the way. He was that guy. And in a house full of women, because we had a little sister who would spend most of her time with his mom. And so now we're all in the same home. So this is our first time really getting to be around our little sister and actually living in that situation. She was 4 years younger than us. And so, man, look here, I hated this dude. Is that same dude from the orange car? Oh, man, this can't be. This just can't be. I'm going home. When I tell you I did everything I could, me and Tracy, to get home, it came down to the point when Tracy was 11 years old, she fought my mom. Like, we used to try to sneak in the car when Uncle Will would try to come and visit and see us as much as possible, but we knew there was a power switch. My uncles tried to come around and visit. My cousin Quincy, his grandfather, which is our great uncle as well, he's our grandfather's brother. My aunt, I'm talking about, that she's a sibling of them. He would always come check on my mom, to check on us. They tried to keep an eye on us. And I remember it being a big deal about my stepdad and how he was acting, but I have to say, the man worked. He served his time in prison, probably for, I think it was some on the east side, baby. He didn't kill somebody with a baseball bat, okay? Something like that. He is the first man to tell me don't let nobody push no wolf cookies on you. The talking is one thing. Action is everything. So don't never buy no wolf cookies from nobody. There's a lot of things that I have to say that my stepfather imparted in me that has helped me survive in things in the life, in parts of my life that God knew I would face. So with that, I want to say that up front, because some of the things that I may share, maybe not all in this video, but that I will share will end up, sounding very crazy. But I have to put my disclaimer out there and say he never abused us as far as any kind of sexual, stuff that people have had to go through. Never that with my stepdad. Never that with my great uncle. None of my family members. We were always protected in that way. And my mom always had a watchful eye because of things she went through. So that was her number one thing. She would always ask, though, if she left the home, when she came back, she would always come to us and say, are y'all okay? It took me some years to figure out why she would always do that, but it was to make sure that my stepfather was who he was, and he absolutely was. I'll give him that. He was mean, baby, and he just who he was. And once I understood his story, then I was able to forgive him in life for being who he was. But he also too had a story. So, but not knowing that at the time, I thought of the many ways I was going to kill him, okay? And I was determined. You just wait till I grow up. You just wait till I get a few more years on me. It was the kicking in the doors. It was the snatching phones out of walls. It was, he wouldn't put his hands too much on my mama because I think he knew that I probably would come unglued, and I was the one he probably had to worry about when he go to sleep. I gave him that energy. There were times I didn't speak to that man in the same house about 2 weeks at a time. I did not care. I was, and I wish you would kill me. So there were times, you felt that kind of heat from him. You know what I'm saying? That, when he first told me I put my foot in your ass, I really trying to figure out how you going to put a whole foot in my butt. Tracy was so green. I remember we used to laugh, and she would remind me of when my mom first told us to go take a bath, and she sent us in there to go ourselves. Our bath water used to be made for us. We 7, 8 years old, right? Well, Tracy was 10. We changed ages. We're only 3 months apart from my birthday. So if I turned 8, she turned 10 in that June. So she told me how she went in there and stood in the tub, and mama came back in there, I don't know how long later or whatever, and say that water still hadn't been turned on. And she started fussing at her, and she said, but Erica, I really didn't know how to turn the water on. I didn't know how to run a bath. So you got to imagine, Tracy's already 8, 9, 10 years old. This girl don't know how to take care of herself. They been babying her whole life. You don't get off a bottle till you 4. Come on now. Baby, please. And when they did trick her to throw her bottle out of a moving car, traveling to the country, as the story is told, they tricked Tracy, and you ain't a big girl. You ain't gonna throw your bottle away. Tracy threw that bottle out the window, and they say cried the rest of the way for that bottle, baby. I think they even tried to turn around and go get her. They had to go get her another one, okay? So, you didn't have to baby me that much, I was just let me be free, So, yeah, so we in the house with this man here that we hardly know. My mom's treating us like she been raising us our whole life. We don't know neither one of you crazy. We want to go home. So, I remember my mom would let us visit and go back to Bandera and visit Uncle Will. I hated leaving him. It hurt me to leave him because it was not only did Aunt Margaret die, but now you taking us from him. And I thought that was so wrong, and I couldn't understand why she couldn't see that. And I remember her saying, it's not right for girls to live with a man. You know how people were saying that she need to get her girls. No, she didn't. I was so mad at her for coming to get us. You should have left me at home. He needed us and we needed him. I was so mad at her. You could have your life with your baby and your man. We didn't care. We wasn't mad at her. I don't think I would have ever blamed her for leaving us there. And I gave her hell for it. I did. Because I wanted to go home. I wanted my life back. I wanted my auntie and my uncle back. I wanted my sister back. And I gotta live day and night in fear. And I hated it. Always having to be ready to protect my mama and my sisters. I knew he wouldn't hurt his own daughter, but I had never experienced that much hate coming off of a person. And what did we do to deserve to be talked to like that? We didn't raise ourselves. We didn't make ourselves like that. So if you don't like us, send us back, please. I want to go home. So one time my mama let Tracy go over there, and it was hard for us leaving our friends in the neighborhood. It was hard for us leaving. Everybody was going on to the land, and we had to go to Bland. It was hard for us. I'm sorry. And as hard as it was for me, I knew it was even harder for Tracy. So I had to bear that burden. Because I couldn't stand to see her hurt. So, since I'm the strong one, I'll take it all. Till they kill me, I will take it all. Because I knew Tracy wasn't built like that. Where was my dad? Probably getting married again. Probably was on wife number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I had lost count. Taking care of their kids. Protecting their kids. See, that's why I tell my kids, let me tell you something. Some of these people, they love you while I'm here, while I'm alive. But don't you get it twisted. Some of these blessings you get is because I'm alive. Some of these people cut for y'all because I'm alive. Let me go in that grave and some of these people gonna change. Some of these aunties ain't gonna be aunties. Some of these uncles ain't gonna be uncles. So I'm striving to leave something for you. I am trying to build you up. And in whatever you endure with me, because God is trying to build you up for the things to come when I am not here. Listen to me, soak this up. People do change. Some of them are real and some of them are not. And I don't always know who's who. But as long as I'm here, you will always be protected because I'm always praying and I'm always watching. And I'm always teaching and ministering. I'm talking about my kids. Shayla, Jeffrey, and Gino. Okay? No one will ever know my story better than them and know me better than my babies. Because they see what I can't show the world. Some things only for me and God and my kids. I can be, vulnerable to a certain degree. But anyway. So, with that being said, we ended up over there, and hey, we embraced the life on Overbrook and Main Road. Well, Tracy, let's do what we do. We started meeting out the kids in the neighborhood. We're going to run around and play. And I tell you what, we're going to gather up some wood and some bricks from everybody's backyard, and we finna build us another playhouse like we got on Bandera Road, since we can't move that one. So we're going to try to make our lives what it was over there as best we can. Baby, when my stepfather saw we was making progress with all the children we had rounded up in the neighborhood to build us a big playhouse in the backyard, he said, stop all construction. Baby, me and Tracy was hell. Y'all gonna let us free. Y'all is gonna turn us loose. And during that time and get with my, live with my mom, we ended up leaving the only church we knew that some of our relatives went to, where we were baptized at, and we ended up at New Lincoln. That's another story, but that turned out to be a blessing and another chapter, another safe place, safe space for us to be. So anything that could get us out the house, baby, drill team, anything community, whatever they doing, talent shows, the schools having something this evening, whatever it was, so-and-so house, baby, me and Tracy, we trying to get out of here, lady. That way y'all don't got to be worried and cussing and fussing so much. Y'all can just be at peace and just let us go do us, okay? So it was always me and my sister. So we did a lot of our first together. So thus, it brings us to how we ended up coming into being Coolie Girls, because and we're God. I could see how he orchestrated the entire thing. He was like my babies. They just been going through. Look at them. They just wore out. It was wild. It was wild. But you conform and you learn how to survive in your environment. Okay. But I have to say, my mom, off the rip, shared some of her deepest testimonies with us. Like, class was in session, honey, and she was just telling us everything. I think we were a little too young for all of that, but she gave it out, the whole story, all the stories, the adoptions, any abuse, just the whole family history, just a lot in her true feelings about things and family members. It was just, we were just sitting there sitting on the floor while she's sitting on the couch, and mama pull out that Bible, baby, and she gonna get in there. And that's one thing that's always puzzled me. She was so into the word of God. And I'm not talking about acting church. This lady really was a word woman. Like, I have to give her that. And it's because of the other testimonies in her life, during that season, probably when we were with my aunt and uncle and stuff like that. I remember her saying, if Aunt Margaret had not died, she would have never been able to get us back. And I did not like that, because I felt like, what you mean she had to die? So it's good that she died. That's the way I took it. I'm like, wow, because she would have stopped you. My mom knew she wouldn't have been able to get us, because Aunt Margaret was a force to be reckoned with, so I'm told, okay? But she let us have our way. I don't know the lady they talking about. I tell some of my elders, I don't know the people you're talking about. They were great. They were amazing. Thank you, God. If anything, I had been mad at the Lord for a long time. Why did you let Aunt Margaret die? That's when everything changed. Uncle Will used to do my homework with me. He would build me up. He would lift me up. They taught me how to fight, baby, how to protect myself. Like, this man was no joke, and he was pouring everything in him, in me. Tracy was getting some too, but I know what I was getting. Why would you let Aunt Margaret die, and then we're going to have to go over there and endure this? Why would you do that? I was going to be great. Like, all that you want for me to do, I'm struggling with all this other stuff that wasn't even a part of my life or my psyche. This is how I'm questioning God throughout my life. Why did you do that? We were innocent. I'm telling you, I've had some talks with the Father. Do you hear me? Because I just don't understand. That was my rationale. I don't understand, and I've learned it ain't for me to understand. My life is not my own. I didn't make me. I didn't put me here. I didn't create this. So whatever people want to judge, you judging God. You ain't judging me, okay? I'm just trying to navigate this thing, just like you are. Aren't we all? Okay? So, with that being said, me and Tracy never lost our desire to perform. Those seeds that Uncle Will planted. He was the type, he'd pull out the guitar. He taught me how to play the guitar. He let me braid all over his head. No wonder I turned into a braider. He was really my first head. He had that little curly, wavy Indian hair, and he used to let me get up on his bald head, and baby, I used to just be all over him. He just let us climb all over. Like, it was that, okay? If Aunt Margaret was chasing me to whoop me, because now she gonna get you for real. It wasn't, like, I didn't feel anger when we were chastised by them. You didn't feel that. It was, when my mom or my stepdad did later, you felt that anger. You felt that. So, anyway, that being said, Yeah, so we ended up at Bland and meeting everybody over there and running all over Northeast Drive, Main Road and 51st and Roggy Lane and wherever else we could go. Okay, we trying to get up out of here. We ride spikes, we place, we make, storytelling. Me and Tracy, we write, we do cheers in New York. We trying to recreate Bandera Road. Okay, we done left out everybody and everything we know and love. So, with that being said, I forgot. Before I go into the Coolie Girls, let me say this. Tracy wanted to go home so bad. When Mama came to get us that night, baby, or either I rode over there with her. I can't remember which. But I remember Uncle Will was talking to her on the phone. He had let her in. Tracy would not come out that room, okay? And Tracy wasn't the type that I was more the one. I'm down to fight. I'm ready for it. I'm quick at but Tracy wasn't no punk. Don't get it twisted, okay? Tracy was about 9 or 10, so we've been with them a couple of years maybe. When I tell you, my mama came in there in that room and Uncle Will's walking her down the hallway and saying, look, she's just not feeling it right now. Give her a minute, just calm down, because my mama like, I'm sick of this shit. Y'all coming home, y'all staying with me, bring your ass. It was that kind of thing. When she walked in that room and Tracy was sitting on that bed, she said, Tracy, let's go. I'm standing at the door of the room. She said, let's go. And I said, let's go now. It's like I'm the authority. I'm your mama and you finna go. I don't care what you're talking about. My mom and Tracy didn't move. Tracy was just looking down, just sad. Ooh, that girl had a sad face. Lord have mercy. She just looking down, just sad. But I could tell Tracy was ready to stand her ground. She ain't going no damn well. Okay? I said, so I'm standing there watching. I'm the bold one, but this about to go there. Girl, I know you ain't finna challenge this lady because we done found out she don't play. Okay? When I tell you, my mama reached to grab Tracy's arm and Tracy swung her arm in the air and the fight was on. She actually swung back at my mom. Baby, Dottie had to show her where she came from, okay? Baby. I gotta hit you back. I'm on live. Listen here. When I tell you they made it from their room, I don't know how they got out in that hallway. By the time that thing happened in 2.2 seconds, baby Tracy was up under the coffee table. My mama hands was around her throat, baby. She was straddling on top of her. Don't you know I would kill you? When I tell you I'm over here, I done ran to the phone. I'm picking the phone up, hanging the phone up, baby. I'm trying to shit out. I need to call for help. All I know is you're supposed to press 0. Today we got 911. Back then you press 0 and call the operator and say you need the police or somebody. I ain't want to call the laws. I ain't trying to be no snitch, but somebody gonna kill somebody. And I don't want my mama to kill my sister. Uncle Will, I ain't never seen him. He's a strong man. When I tell you my mama turned into a beast on her, because look, what you don't do, and you came for me, is raise your hand, okay? Lord have mercy, baby. Uncle Will had to peel my mama off of her. I ended up hanging up that phone. I couldn't do it. Uncle Will finally got control of this situation. Then mind you, this man getting up in age, man, y'all doing too much. So anyway, we ended up having to leave. Baby, I even snuck in his car one time when he left, baby. She walked into the car. They didn't see me slide up on him, baby. I had ducked down. This time I was going to make it. I made it home. Scared shit out that man when he got out the car at his house. And I pop up talking about, hi, Uncle Will. I got to spend a night that night, though. But they made it clear at some point when he had started dating again, that this is not our home. We can't just move around here the way we used to. That really hurt. But I understood it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, he got a new lady or whatever. We hated them. You know what I'm saying? My uncle too good for this, and we need to be here watching over him. All right, Cousin Will, I love you too. Grew up around the corner from them. All my cousins was close. All my first. But anyway, so that didn't work. Mama wasn't budging. I don't know if, I grew up and found out about income tax. So I don't want to say a check was involved, but, cause they was defiant. They was not letting us go back. And so me and Tracy just kept going. Mama wouldn't let us do Jam City, but we could do church. So we was in everything church, but we love going to church. We love singing in the choir. We love ushering. We learned to serve at church, you know. And by that time, we were at New Lincoln, and we loved it there. We met new friends and stuff like that. We missed our old, but, you know, this was something new. It was what it was. We had no say-so. You know what I mean? So we embraced it. They embraced us. That was it is. It's our new family. Now, my mama wasn't a regular churchgoer, okay? Then her and Aunt Linda, they go around and visit churches, and I guess they saw Satan in a whole lot of them. They would laugh and talk about it. It'd be like, did you see how he... So we were privy to stuff like that. When Tracy fought my mom at that time, Tracy was left with scars and scratches on her neck, which, you know, my daddy brought my mom into court, and, you know, she would bring me along. That was a real hurtful experience, watching my mom and dad in court fighting over Tracy. And I knew my mom didn't mean to put scars on her. I mean, damn, you done reached and tried to swing on the lady. You know you ain't supposed to do that. But I so understood Tracy. I was hoping Tracy was going to prevail, to be honest with you, because we want to go home, you know, but I didn't want her to fight my mom. And I decided in that moment that was something I would never do. Well, at least I tried not to for a long time. But, you know, anyway, God, Bible do say don't provoke your kids too. It is what it is. But my mom would allow us to go. So the fact they had a church van, they'd come get us. But we were used to that. You know, if it was just elders of the church, even from Rosewood, they would always come pick up all the kids in the cars. So this was our life. We used to getting picked up, going to churches on any day of the week, you know, being in choir and all this stuff. So anyway, so Jam City came about. It was on TV. So now me and Tracy stuck watching BET. You know, it's outside playing, or it's in the house. It's, you know, at this time we had blended. And I had met Rakisha, Coolie Girl number 4, previously from summer camp. If anybody remembers Sunshine Camp, I got to go and do things Tracy really didn't get to do. I don't know why. I don't know where she was on some of this stuff. But Tracy never went to Sunshine Camp with me. That was one of the things I did by myself. And so that's where I met Rakisha. I think we were like 8. So it's probably right in that time when all of my aunt died, when I met her originally. And we've been friends ever since, praise God. So she ended up being at Blanton when we got to Blanton. So that lightened the blow. We saw somebody, you know, or at least for me, I saw somebody I knew. But anybody that been to Blanton Elementary, y'all know us. Y'all know how it went down. Woo, 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 right? So, but that's where I started writing rhymes in 5th grade. That's where KZI would play. You know, y'all know KZI play all the rap songs, baby. And I started writing. I actually first started writing songs. And I wanted the church. I wanted to take it to the choir, New Lincoln, take it to the elders that was over the youth. And I presented songs and stuff like, I want to rap this for God. You know, I wrote a song and they told me no. Like, church wasn't ready for that. We ain't doing that. That's evil. That's the devil. And I was so heartbroken. It was like, I in the spirit, I probably walked away with my head down, just so crushed. I just remember feeling really rejected by God, really by people. And I'm like, okay, God, I wanted to be obedient. I really loved God. I really loved His Word. I was like my mom in that way. I memorized 40 scriptures for, Junior Citywide Drill Team. And I competed in Houston at 11 years old, and I won first place with a Houston girl. So Houston been a part of my life my whole life. So it was nothing for me when I finally did move here. So just putting that out there. But anyway, so where I'm at in the story, y'all. Okay. So now me and Tracy, we decided on a name. By this time we in junior high. We had been doing talent shows. Anything we can get in, we in, right? I already said that. So we started doing house parties. Linda Coleman, baby, her mom, that was Fish. Y'all remember Fish used to have a limousine? That's her big brother, okay? So we used to, we see him around the way. Y'all remember that was live sitting, bro, that old, we youngsters, so like, dang, a limo in the hood, you know what I'm saying? So, but her mom was the first, one of our first parties, or it was at Kiki's mom house, one of the first. But anyway, whatever. We started throwing parties. Anybody house, anybody mama let us. Even Red, who was another Coolie girl. Y'all know Red, Angela. Those who don't, Coolie girl number 4, 5. I'm starting to lose count. But anyway, I remember May Lou let us throw a party over there, so I would draw the flyers. We knew Dinky D, we had met them. I think they used to hang out at Pierce or something, whatever. They would come DJ the parties and stuff like that. So that was kind of the thing. Nobody really knew that I could rap or that I was writing. It was something me and, I would do at home. I still would write, but I started just writing secularly, but innocent, because we were still kids, right? So, and I would give Tracy her part, and we would rap back and forth, woo, woo, whatever. So I like to battle rap, because it was about battle rap and what people call ciphers today. So it was about that. And that's just something we did on the street in the neighborhood. I remember Don coming through, and I remember him walking us through the neighborhood and kind of training me how to freestyle and how to become better at it. So we walked up to, I think it was called Mini Max at the time. I think it turned into FB Foods or something over there on Main Road in Rocky Lane, the grocery store. I remember walking in there and we rapping about all the food, and he'll rap. I thought he was good. I thought he was really good. Like, he could go off the dome. He could pick out cereal, some cheese, a popsicle, whatever. So this is how, I began to hone my skills, and then recording, pushing a little tape recorder, finally waiting all day, like somebody said last night yesterday at the Woods, how you have to wait all day, okay, they ought to play that song again and push the tape record on your recorder. I would do that, and I would study the artists. I would study Houdini. I would study Sugar Hill Gang, UTFO, Roxanne Shante, MC Light, that was later. I'm talking about the first, you know what I'm saying? Dougie Fresh. Baby, I would study all of them. I would listen. I would stop the tape, and I'd be thinking, what was they thinking when they wrote that? How did they put those words together? How can I put my own words? But I'm like, I can only talk about what I know, right? And so, now mind you, I got a little rage going on because all this going on at home, so I really can't talk about what's really going on, so I got to keep it innocent kid like. So, and, even though the church didn't accept it or whatever, I still, we ain't gonna do no cussing and stuff, because Daddy be went crazy on you. We ain't doing that. It's the way to conduct yourself. Mama always taught us about how we should dress, how we should be. Ain't no with your breasts and your butt all out. She pointed out on the streets. You see that right there? That ain't how y'all dress. So if you've seen us covered up most of our lives, we was raised with some morals and values and and stuff like that. Our family just didn't carry themselves that way. No judgment to folks that you do how you do. I'm just saying that's what we were taught, okay? It's the proper way to present yourself. And so anyway, so by the time we decided that, hey, we could turn this into something, Tracy always calling me to the square, Erica, come over here, my sister can rap, come rap against them, and I'll be ready to go. I stay ready to go. I don't know what's wrong with some of these artists today. Y'all got to stay ready to go. When I tell you, on Overbrook, I was building them skills. So we became the Coolie Girls. And of course, I got the most aggressive personality. Somehow I'm Coolie Girl #1 now, because I'm doing all the writing and rapping. Tracy would write too, that's how she became MC Cool. She just smooth with it, Kiki, high energy. So sometimes she would write little parts and stuff, but it was basically me even taking their parts and trying to make it better. When I listen to me back then, I'm like, Lord, what was them people liking? What was I saying? You know what I'm saying? But it was live when it was live. The 80s was, it was amazing. So, but my mom gave us permission to do that. So that's what I want to say. I want to thank you, lady, because we don't care. If Keisha grandmommy say she can go, or even in, other things that we did, if Miss Gillespie said the twins could go, and she was going to take us. Uh-oh. Y'all, I'm talking to y'all, and I got to go get my baby. Let me pull off. See, I get lost in time. But I'm going to try to wrap this story up real quick when it comes to the Coolie Girls. So, anyway, we started that, and once I came out in a battle rap the boys used to have on the late bus after basketball, and everybody found out a girl could do a little something and snap a little bit. The next day, everybody at school was, hi, Erica, hi, Erica. I mean, we knew a lot of people anyway. It was just like that, but it was like everybody at school wanted to say, hi, Erica, hi, Tracy, whatever. So that was cool. I liked that, because I had decided everybody gonna know my name. Everybody gonna know what I do. You know what I mean? And by me just presenting it, I didn't tell people, I wasn't in folks' faces. But when there was an opportunity, that was my opportunity to showcase what I could do. And Uncle Will always made me feel proud about, or me and Tracy, about what we did. He was proud of any little thing we did. If we washed the dish clean, he was just proud that we could wash dishes. If we made the pancake perfect, if we tried, he would just gloat about it and tell anybody that would listen every little thing we did, you know. And he just, you know how you do about your grandbabies and stuff for y'all, their grandparents, you just always talk, here, and let me show you some pictures of them. You know, it was that. So that was our outlet, and Mama always said we can go. So by the time we got to HT, and we got in Upper Bound, again, looking for a place to go to get out this house. You know, where is the next, Tracy? Where we going next? Where we going to hang out next? What can we get into? So when we found out about Upper Bound JTPA, we was like 12. I know I was like 12. And it was Tracy had probably just moved back because when her and my mama had that old fight, that showdown, my dad did win in court, and Tracy went to live with him for 2 years. And I think he went through about 3 more relationships. I remember we had a Farrah Fawcett stepmama. Ooh, she was beautiful, white girl, okay? Had them wings, baby. I thought she was cute. Plus, when he take us to the mall with her, she make him spend that money on his kids, okay? Oh, whatever they want, just buy it for them. I liked her. She didn't last long, but I ain't like when she tried to put a perm on my sister hair and brought her hair out while she was over there with them, okay? Well, I don't know what all was going on while Tracy was with them, but I don't think it was all great either because, you know, my dad was really strict. Tracy couldn't pass notes in class, but he was able to buy her so much. Like, Tracy went, like, shopping. He bought her clothes. He didn't do that for me. He didn't reach back and say, well, I'm going to take both of y'all. Tracy was like, she just had a hell of a wardrobe, okay? I'm over here with Mama and them with the same thing going on, okay? And so, but I was happy for her. He put her in band, bought her an instrument. Like, you know, she was good. She looked well taken care of when I got to see her. But this is the first time for me that I'd ever been separated from my sister because of that. You know, my daddy had took pictures of her neck and all that stuff. And so, you know, of course the judge was like, yeah, you just gone over there. I know he was so happy not to have to hold on. Sorry, I gotta grab my son. So, I done got lost in the South, y'all. Anyway, so, what was I at, y'all? I was talking about Coolie Girls. I was talking about when everybody figured out a girl could rap, and I was that battle rap or whatever it appears. And then, you know, really the teachers and stuff being all cool with it and want me to write a song for MLK Day and performing in assemblies and stuff like that. That was cool. But when we got to HT, and Tracy said, Erica, I want you to come rap for this guy. I think I found us a manager. And I'm like, what? We just getting there, setting up in our room, you know, in our dorm room, because during that time you could stay on campus during the Upper Bound JTPA program. Y'all know we was getting our little stipends and stuff, and we go to class during the day. And so that's how she came and got me, ran me out there to Kirk. I'm on live. Y'all, he need to go to work. I'm sorry. I'm on live. Huh? Okay. I forgot to pick him up, honey. Here you go, baby. So anyway, sorry. Anyway, 24, baby. Let's go. So, what was I at? God dang it. See, that's why I can't get sidetracked. Okay, so by this time, Mom's giving us permission to go with oh, no. I'm sorry, back to Kirk. So I came out and I rapped for Kirk. That's who was standing. I think it was Kirk and Arthur, or Kirk and Mark. I can't remember which two, or it was just Kirk. But I remember Kirk. And she was like, go, Erica, go. My sister can rap. Go, Erica. So I did my thing, right? And the crowd is around. You know how we used to do, everybody coming over there to see what's going on. Yeah, she was very. And so he was like, okay, I like y'all. I'm not even going to go into the details from that day. All I remember next is, well, I'm going to just take you to what was next. I ain't going to say all I remember. But it just came down to Kirk, and it's being 4 managers: Kirk, Arthur, Mark, and Byron. That was Cam Productions, KAM. Byron always said he was a silent B. So they, you know, they Craig was. So everybody that was rocking with them was rocking with us, you know. So we was Coolie Girls. They ended up looking for people to record with us. Well, we need to get y'all a song. Okay, first we got to find somebody to make y'all some music. So that's how we ended up working with Bruce Latson and the FS Connection crew, you know. And they walked in there and saw all them grandpas. We was like, what's really going on? But they were great. They was cool. But they was older. We was like, what is going on? That is where, right there by Alamo Park in the community center, he had a house over there, and that's where we recorded our first commercial for KZI. And Tony Holloway beatboxed on that commercial. First time us hearing our voices on radio was on KZI, and it was recorded right there. To my best recollection, yeah. That was the first time we made an actual song. Don't ask me what the song is, but I do remember him beatboxing because I thought that was so live. I wish I could hear it again. And we said, yeah. We was like, yo, Coolie Girls. Yeah, I'm Coolie Girl #1. Da 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 da. You know, we went like that. Then he beatboxed some more. It was so fire. Okay, I wish some of this stuff, I don't know where. Can y'all send us some of the stuff if anybody got it? But anyway, so that was the beginning. And Kirk and them, I didn't even know they were in their young 20s. You know what I'm saying? And then to take over the responsibility of girls that are way underage, you know, to travel with us and to take us on tours, to get us in front of the producers who was doing something, you know, in the city. DJs like DJ Casanova, Winky D, and JPHD. I remember Cool, DJ Jazzy Jeff, DJ Cool, DJ Pete, White Brother. I'm trying to remember everybody. I can't remember everybody, so don't charge it to my heart, please. But we work with a lot of people, a lot of dance crews, and honestly, me and Tracy were already trained to be like baby perfectionists. And what we did, we wanted to do it great because we always wanted to make our family or Uncle Will proud. So that's where you get that side of us. And so Tracy was the one always at the payphone with the quarters. Girl, I'm finna call this company. It's a record company in California. This is before we even got with Kirk and them, okay? This girl here was on a campaign for real. So that was Tracy's role. The part that I have to play today as a whole is I have to be my sister and myself when she died, is how I feel. Because Tracy is the one who would say, hey, y'all, we got to go thank the radio people. Hey, let's write them a letter, or let's do this. Or she was the one that would keep those relationships, you know, and networking. She was real good about doing that, but that's just who she was, you know, always laughing, always ready to just meet new people, and then respect their time and their attention and what they would, you know, always grateful. You know, I have to give her that. She had that soft-spoken voice. Yeah, we have two totally different voices, same mom and daddy, and a lot of people didn't even know we were real sisters. Yes, we are, same mom and daddy. We just, one took after the other, one, you know, so yeah. But so, in looking back, like I said before, I appreciate that so much more today. Like, sis, she just like to show a little sister off. I don't know why, because I could be mean. Okay? Well, she used to whoop on me before I could defend myself. So, you know, when I could, I was ready to go ham on the world. Okay? And her too, if she played with me. And if somebody fight her, they got to fight me. And then you back up out my sister, baby. And if she take up for you, I'm finna fight her right here too. Okay, I was that kind of little sister. You can't fight her, but I can. And if she take up for you, I'm fighting her too on spot. Okay, I remember somebody, mama picked us up on the way from school. Telling me, Dad, your children is out here fighting each other. Ooh, my mama was hot. When I tell you she got on us. But let me tell you where I learned to keep stuff to myself. Because I was so distraught from that situation and leaving Bandera to Overbrook Drive. I missed my friends. I missed my family. I missed my auntie. I missed our lives. You know, we over here in all this baby chaos, talking to us crazy. I remember I let one of them counselors in that school talk me into. They didn't know why I was acting out. Because, see, I'd be ready to fight the boys. I didn't really fight the girls a lot. I want to challenge the boys. Okay? Girl, what is you looking at? Okay, boo. Sorry. Anyway, I fought my big cousins. Like, we play fight. They rough with the girls, so growing up. So, and I loved it. So, it wasn't no thing for me. You piss me off, I'm going to do what Uncle Will told me to do. Fight. Okay? You strong with that red, she'll fight. Okay? Sure will, in your honor, sir. I ain't gonna let nobody hurt me like you taught me. So anyway, yeah, I confided in one of them counselors and told them everything that was going on, okay? Everything about how I feel. They even reached out to some of my friends that had went from Sims to Gillette because I missed them so much, to try to reconnect me with some of them. And I remember exactly who those friends were, but I won't say their names on here. But just because I go somewhere else with that. But when I tell you, by the time school was out and I got to the house, my mama was standing out there waiting on the girl and had got the whole play-by-play of everything I told that counselor. When I tell you, I decided I would never, ever, ever in life confide in anybody that much, or just share my real. I can't tell nobody. So trust and believe, baby. When they offered me counseling after waking up and finding my mama dead, then I know I'm jumping ahead, but y'all done heard this before. So yeah, and they said maybe you could take advantage of this counseling at the city office. You know, sir, no thank you. I don't talk to nobody but God. Unless I want to, or he laid on my heart and the Holy Spirit get to work, and I'm not talking to nobody but God, baby. You and I know my innermost thoughts and feelings. No, you won't, unless I choose to share it with you. If there's a reason for me to share it with you, okay? So, I have to say that all these different people who I still ain't even got to the middle of things, so I'm going to make another video because I'm going to get my son on where he needs to be. So I do a part 2, okay? Yeah, Coolie Girls was born. And Kiki really added to that, because by 8th grade, and everybody know I can rap now. We doing this, in the hood or whatever. But when she came and we found out she could dance, she was added to the group as a Coolie Girl number 3. So now it's on and popping. We finna go get us some shirts and all that good stuff. So now Keisha was an original Coolie Girl, but we were not called Coolie Girls then. We just, because we knew her and we was at Blanton, we all did talent shows together, so we always performed together during that time. But when we actually got the name, Keisha was at Keeling. So when we did reconnect with her, of course, immediately we brought her in. So she is one of the first, but it was kind of a reaching out to her, her grandmother, agreeing, or however we decided that we could all hook up and practice and stuff like that. So that's where it's like she was original, even she was in our lives before Kiki. But when it became us putting a rap group together, and Keisha sings, she does not rap. So it was about me, Kiki, and Tracy being the rappers, and Keisha being the singer, featuring on all the songs and stuff like that, carrying the vocals for us. And so that's why she's Coolie Girl number 4. Now, initially at Pierce, Tracy was the one that ran the campaign. And when we did start, calling ourselves Coolie Girls and, putting it out there, putting it on shirts and stuff, Tracy was the one that was like, you could be a Coolie Girl, you a Coolie Girl, everybody's a Coolie Girl. So Pierce probably originally had about 25 Coolie Girls. I don't remember everybody's number. And because it was more about, do you have a gift? And are you willing to share that gift? What is it that you do and that you don't mind? Like anybody what is your outlet? So whether you danced or you wrote poetry or you did art or you was in the cooking class, you love to cook. It didn't matter. It was as long as you was working your gift, then you could be a Coolie Girl. Like we wanted everybody to be a part. This is before we got to being, Coolie Nation came into play years later. But initially, that was Tracy's MO. She wanted everybody to have a number. So I remember up to probably Coolie Girl 19, but I think it was getting out of hand. I was like, but I think we wanted to include everybody. It ain't no fun if everybody can't have some. And we were like that. I like to share. We were givers. We were taught to be givers and sharers. People could think I could be stingy. If it's mine, what you cannot do is break what belonged to me and mistreat it and not value it like I do. That's a whole nother thing. But when it comes to giving and sharing and seeing other people happy and enjoying what we're enjoying, we were always like that. That's just where we come from. So I guess that crossed over. So being a Coolie Girl, being an artist in the beginning was more than just me. Tracy contributed way more. She was just as important as I was as a writer being who she was on the business end and trying to connect us with people and get us on radio, like stuff like that. Her vision for the group, right? Now, Kiki, on the other hand, being like a great dancer, you know, there was value in what she did. Like, yeah, she could rap, but dancing and her high energy and being a people person and being able to just, you know, I don't know, she just fit, you know, and she became my best friend, you know. So, and then Keisha, being who she was as a singer, that's your lane. That's what you do. So, I mean, if we could put poetry in a rap song, and we could have then, but we wasn't thinking of that, okay, we'd have had one of the other coolie girls that do that, you know, like Linda Coleman, you know, just whatever you did, you know, even if you hosted a house party, okay, you could be a coolie girl, this is what you do, you know, like, so, you're an event planner, okay? We're going to give everybody their own career. We all going to be CEOs around here. So the numbers really are not significant to your value. It's just the number because of the order in which you came into being a coolie girl. So eventually, though, Coolie Girls, the group, the rappers, you know, took off in its own way. The other idea of everybody being coolie girls kind of got lost in the sauce. You know what I mean? So I think partly because you have to continue to make yourself relevant. You know, you have to continue to show up for a thing. If you want to be a part of a thing, you have to be confident. And a lot of people win because of their confidence. You know, they're not sitting back in the cut waiting to be picked. They're going to stand up on the front line and say, hey, I'm here. Somebody that was coolie girl number 15, who are you, where you at, and what is you doing? We want to support and lift you up. We would have done that. But you got lost in the sauce. So I don't remember who coolie girl 15, 13, 12, and all them, and I don't remember what you did. But we gave you a number for a reason. You know, I was the type of person in school, I talked to everybody. I don't care if you was popular, unpopular in the special ed class. I really didn't care. I understood that people were people and that we all were created by God, and it was still a beautiful thing. You know, so, yeah, with that being said, that would be the beginning, and those would be the people who were in the beginning, you know. And I did mention in posts about Bobby Green and him calling us cool girls, but the way he said it was like a Jamaican kind of accent. I don't know what he was doing singing it. It sounded like Coolie to me. So that's where me and Tracy said, and we was like, what we gonna be called? You know, like, this stuff is so innocent. We was kids. You know what I mean? So, and all of this is happening while what at home is happening. While the world is lifting us up, our community is saying how great we are and how excited they're supporting us. At home, it's not the same thing. It's just not the same. It's just, I don't know. It's just the reality we went back to wasn't what we were getting in the world. You know what I mean? So I don't know how to. I do know how, but right now, I'm still ain't got much sleep. I'm on the adrenaline, wouldn't let me rest like I need to, but I will get me some. But I wanted to come here and say that. So, and that being said, just that little piece alone, I thank God, like, that was, Coolie Girls was a gift. Like, not like God owed us any apology for what happened and our lives changing the way it did, and the shock value of it all. But it was just like a gift to say, y'all are willing, and I want to give y'all something for what happened to y'all. But I have a plan, and I allowed this for a reason. There, you know, Romans 8:28, all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. If you are willing to allow God to use you, he will use you, and he also will reward you. But there's a cross to bear in that, and because it needs to build you up, it needs to change some things, you know, it needs to wake you up on it's about to get real, because you are here on assignment, because you do have something to do. So it ain't gonna always be peach. I let you have your few little peaches, but now you got the baddest cross over here. Now you got to run your race. You have to, you know, come forth. You know, these days I say, you know, people that, you know, these wolves in sheep clothing in these situations, they be something else. I have learned to say, Lord, if it be you, then bid me to come. Even when it comes to getting online and recording videos and telling my testimony or stories or sharing with anybody, Lord, if it be you, Please don't let me cast my pearls among swine no more. Please don't let me kiss not another frog. Please don't let me go ahead of you and your perfect timing for what you want me to do and say and be and all of that. Lord, if it be you, then bid me to come. Other than that, I'm going to be quiet and y'all ain't going to see me on him. Because if God say I got to take you up in the lab, girl, I got to get something else off of you. Yes, I know. I said, I just wanted to see if you was going to do it. I just think about with Abraham and taking Isaac on up there because God had told him, bring that old sacrifice. You know, he went on and did that. As soon as he raised that blade or that knife, whatever it was, I wasn't there. But whatever it was, he was getting ready to come down on him. And God told him to stop. Abraham, don't hurt him. Okay? When I tell you, I think we are tested in that way. Baby, I just wanted to see if you would trust me. I just wanted to see. I need to check your hearing. Because you're hearing everybody else. You're out here. You're doing the most. And I needed my hearing to be checked. Because, Father, it's loud. Everybody's calling. Everybody inboxing. I want to do everything. It's all kind of stuff. My world is turning real, real fast. And people are shocking and amazing me. And one person I thought I could trust, I found out I could trust. And as much as I've been in these streets, how did you get past me? With that piece of game and try to play. Okay. And so God has taken me through a season of forgiving. And so as I continue this to share as God lead me, I'm sorry, I'm going to get off right here because this will be an all-day affair. I'm not going to do it all in one day. But what I do want to say, and that is, Coolie girls, everybody that was brought in, everybody that was handpicked by God to be a part of my life, that I'm going to speak on personally. I can only speak for myself. Not to be selfish, just speaking from my own perspective. When I look at each one of those ladies, my sister Tracy, Keisha, Juana, Kiki, Red, Angela. When I look at you ladies, when I see and stand with you and where we stood yesterday, and to see our community and our peers in the industry to honor us and clap for us the same way we've clapped for them, you know what I mean? I'm like, this is nuts. Like, and God, you allowed me to see this, and I couldn't help but be standing there thinking, Tracy, you should have been here to see this. But God's plan, right? She did what she came to do. And if that was to pour into me, to push me forward, to show me the way, in a way, and how I should communicate with people instead of just always being ready to fight, be a little more patient with folks. Whatever it was. There's so much more to that story between her and I. Being taken from loving on one another to speaking to each other in a hateful manner. Because, you know, being pitted against each other. Yeah. I love my sister. And I thank God that I had Tracy as my big sister. I really do. We was like night and day, and we could be like oil and water. But that love in the heart, that bond, is still there. And I'm forever bonded with the Coolie girls and a whole lot of people in other areas of my life. And I'm just so in awe. I've seen how far the industry has come in Austin. I've been a part of it for over 3 decades. By God's grace, His covering, His protection. And why He's kept me to tell the story instead of her. Why He's allowed me to live to see it. I'm just going to see it for both of us. And I'll figure out a way to honor her better and best as I can, because I don't want people to forget and just always see me. I'm a little bolder and a little louder than she was, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want it to be lost. And also I don't want it to be lost that we remember Cujo. one of our dancers, also a rap artist, who died a few years back now. We love him. Just because we don't always say everybody's name in the same breath, it does not mean that we forgot. It's just it didn't come to memory at that time, or whatever the case may be. But that don't mean you're not in our hearts. It don't mean that we don't love you. And I'm speaking on behalf of me and my sister and my sister's Coolie Girl, Coolie Nation, okay? And I got even more sisters that God has given me through my life, and even in recent, and God will lead me in due time to share about those people. Let me just say thank you for coming to support. Thank you for supporting God's call on my life. I hope I'm doing the same for yours in some way, or have done at some point through my 49 years. If we didn't have but an hour together, I hope that whatever I was able to pour in your life was a good thing. And if it was a long time ago when I was a fighter and we had to fight, well, you learn to maybe fight a little harder, because iron sharpens iron. I'm just saying. But I appreciate y'all listening today. It went somewhere else than I was originally. I was going to stay the course, but God just had his way, and I wanted to get at least that much off my chest. I want y'all to know yesterday was so amazing that I'm still in awe. Still haven't just like, I haven't said, I mean, I wasn't running around worried about when is Austin going to recognize me, when Austin going to say something about. I just don't do that, because I think for the time it was what it was, Austin showed up great. Like, it was a great time in all of our lives. I remember being a Coolie Girl, and you remember being there supporting one, right? Being in the crowd, you were a part of it. So therefore, if we all made it happen, the way I see it, Austin made it happen. And I'm going to point that out and acknowledge that. You don't have to be the one that they always say in your name. For me, everybody famous. You know, everybody's somebody. You know what I'm saying? Ain't what's the name down the road is somebody. Because she always trying to feed somebody. Somebody can always come over there and get a shower, get a meal, or get a word. Uncle so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? He's somebody. You know, I could call names, but I don't need nobody to count names, and I want to so bad. But somebody gonna say, well, why you didn't say my name? I'm not even gonna do that with that spirit today. Because I can feel it. For some reason, I can feel it. So I'm not going to be specific in names right now, because somebody will be left out, I'm for sure, because there's too many of y'all. When God bless, he blesses in abundance. And I have abundance of people that I hold dear to my heart. And I don't need nobody over there in their feelings. That's what we're not going to do today. When you know, you know. Austin did show up and show out. You hear me? It was sold out, y'all. Yeah, let me recognize it and shout out to the city of Austin. Wow. Come on, city. Baby, that was such a beautiful event. When I tell you, if you're going to do it, go on and do it, okay? Baby, I'm telling you. I was like, am I at Austin? Look at all. Come on, ATX. Come on, A-Town. Come through. History Center. Austin Public Library. I'm talking about, I know behind every great artist is one hell of a team. Behind any great business is one hell of a team. People you'll never see, never want acknowledgement, ain't all out there like, hey, me, ain't even tripping. They just want to see it come to pass, and they stand back and they enjoy it. So for all the people that put in all those hours interviewing everybody, I mean, I take a minute and think about that kind of stuff. You know, man, I know what it took. Baby, somebody was scratching their head, running around, baby, trying to figure out how to put them last little things together before the people get here. Before the doors open, somebody clean that table. Did y'all get the food in there? Do they have this? Where are all the awards? Wait a minute, we missing something. Do we have I know it was going down. Where's the cake at? Oh my goodness, the cake slid off. It might have fell somewhere. Well, go back and get another cake. We gotta have cake. Stuff like that go down that you don't see. And they had it together by the time we all walked in there. Salute, shout out to Austin Public Library. Yes, they did an amazing job. And making sure somebody was in charge of making sure all the names on seating. When they come in, escort them. Show them where the green room at. Make sure there's water. There's plenty of this. You know, are they comfortable? Take these. Somebody's on deck. You better get all the angles, the pictures, and all that. We're going to need all that content and footage. Is your battery charged? You know what I'm saying? All that happened before we got there, what people don't see. So that's why I wanted to make sure I got me a couple of shots with the people with the black and white shirts on and acknowledge them. And just personally say, thank you. You somebody to me. They probably been getting on you since 30 days ago, and last week they've been running you for filth around here, baby. You is tired, but you is trying to show up and do your part. They've been saying, go to the store, go get this, go get the food. Did you call the caterer? Did you get the emails from the artist? When somebody ain't came through, when we trying to meet them, I'm telling you, it all went down. I'm so for sure of it. But by the time we got there, I felt none of that energy. It was peaceful. It was beautiful. It was y'all did that. Y'all did that for real. I was just looking at the ambiance of the thing. You hear me? And even though people were looking at me and the Coolie girls, I was looking at y'all. I was tapping into Facebook, looking at y'all. Sneaking and peeking over here and there, looking at y'all. When Tyranny, Rikisha sitting next to me, told me, do you know Tyranny was in tears the whole time we was up there? I said, oh, he looking at us like, my girls. When you get that, that's some God-given stuff right there. You know what I'm saying? So in the midst of anything that I can say that we've been through in our personal lives, and everybody has their own individual story and testimony, those are the highs I be talking about. What happened yesterday is one of those highs. When I say I done had some highs and some lows, in the midst, it just came out of nowhere. And I run hard daily. That was another high. God kissed me yesterday. He kissed all his Coolie girls, okay? And I'm sorry Kiki couldn't be here. She didn't make it. I wish we could have hugged on her and loved on her, you know. But unfortunately, she couldn't be here. But we stood there and represented her as well, you know, hopefully well. She said she was watching online on YouTube. So y'all please go support the Austin Public Library YouTube channel. I said, did they stream the whole thing? Baby, the only part I don't want to see is when I was talking, okay? I don't like to go back and watch myself. I said what I said. It was what it was. Because I'm my hardest critic. I will critique the mess out of myself. So unless it's my music, I honestly don't really like to go back and watch my interviews. I ain't say some good stuff. But I'm just saying. I ain't saying I ain't meant what I said. But I'm not that into me sometimes. Not in that way, you know, it be something for my kids, and, you know, I'll go back, but to God be all the glory. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. That's because I had been through, sister, and, you know, I had God, girl, he's done his thing in me, giving honor and glory to God. He has done his thing in me, and I gotta be tickled pink, because devil, you a lie. You been trying to kill me before I got here, and you still can't get it done. You ain't about nothing. You really not. You try to attack my mind, my body, my mental, my spiritual, my physical. You just done tried out everything. It just ain't working out for you, huh, Satan? You know? Oh, the blood of Jesus. You know? So I gotta acknowledge him. I don't care if you be like, how she lifting up the name? You know, because you know I hear she used to say, I don't care what you heard, baby. You got to get to know God and why he is just who he is. Because he love me anyway. He love us anyway, y'all, in spite of. And he said, come here, yeah, I stand at the door and knock. And I heard my father knocking and calling. So I'm sorry, sometimes I just gotta go. And at the end of the day, I'm not gonna listen to you. You can tell me what God said, he told you and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, it's final. It's final is what it is. I'm gonna listen to him. And when I found myself out of tune, I know how to get back in tune. That's the thing. We can get out of tune. Just know your way back. Know where your breadcrumbs is at. Like Hansel and Gretel. When I tell you, thank God for my family and people that have poured God into me And the word of God is so seeds into my life, because when the enemy always trying to snatch me and take me on about, he just, I understand he's a fighter too. Okay. Well, it ain't my fault you didn't appreciate your gifts, and I'm trying to appreciate mine. You was up there. You was God's right-hand man. You was the most beautiful angel. He gave you all of this here, and you just could not. Then you just wanted to be God. And hey, have we not all got a little ego, got beside ourselves, got a little too big for your britches, and the Lord had to rescue you and set you down. That's a good thing. That's loving on you. It's the ones that tell you the truth. And God is going to always be Father and tell us the truth. He's not just going to let us do that like that, because he loves us. So, hey, wherever people think or how far they think we should have been or should have gone, now God knew what he was doing. God knew what he was doing. And now I know it better by and by. And I'm all right with it. I'm not just from Austin. I'm a pioneer of Austin. Hip-hop. And I am so proud of that. I'm proud of that in a good way. Giving all honor and glory to God, and all the people who I was privileged to grace the stages with and perform with, and I watched them hustle and grind and be so serious about their craft that it made me so even more serious about mine. Especially since they was older than me, a lot of them, so I had to, I'm just talking about when we came in, I got to rise to the occasion. So I think one of the questions I asked the artist on Carol's platform at an EWO event the other night was, who is an artist that you admire? Who do you think is the hottest artist out right now? And he gave me an answer, and I said, do you think you could share stage with that person? That's the way my mind used to work when it comes to performing. Did I achieve that? I'll let other people, judge and say, hey, you deserve an award for that. Okay, we got somewhere with it, right? So that's how I always used to think. If I was sharing the stage with people that were mainstream, would I fit in that show? You know what I mean? Do I deserve to bless that mic, right? So that was my thing. So I just want to say I ain't do it alone. It was so many. I know I got to come back and thank some more folks. Salute to all the artists who stayed in Austin, been there their whole lives, who have never left and kept this thing going. Have stayed and kept a hand in the industry and are still doing community works and being a part of the community. Where I have God expanded my territory to Houston and other places. And I have to tell y'all, Houston has been good to me too. And they give me my flowers. And I have family here. I have industry family that I love, and friends that are like family, and actual family here. So both places are near and dear to my heart, and places that I've also traveled that always welcome me and roll out the red carpet. Whether people think I deserve it or not, God thinks I deserve it. When you getting your flowers, God thinks you deserve it. So take that and just say thank you, Father. And I know it was greater He that was in me, that is in all of us, than we when we are in the world. I know I'm twisting, it sound like I'm twisting scripture, but hey, the Lord gave me that like that. Like, greater is He that is in me than he who is in the world. I know how it go. But I'm telling you, in those dark hours when I had to fight through to make it through, because I knew it meant something to somebody, or it gave my sister strength to get through. If I be the strong one, then I'll do that. I'll be that. And I'm all right with that, because I do it to serve God. I do it in service to Him because I owe Him that much and so much more. Because He sent people in my life that I could respect, adore, and honor as well. And they honor me. Wow, thank you. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I'm going to get off of here. He back there. He ain't said a thing. He just letting his mama have it. Thank you, Chino. He ain't interrupting, baby. He's, getting his in on or whatever before he go up in here and go and get it for him, all right? But y'all keep me in prayer. Shout out to Stanley Cobble. I gotta say this real quick. Shout out to Stan the man, because baby Stan gave me some papers last night. I did not have a copy, and he gave me 3 of them. And I want to thank you for looking at. I do have my copy of the Austin Chronicle. Shout out to the Austin Chronicle for putting Coolie Girls on the front cover. That says nothing less about all the honorees and even other artists that wasn't honored tonight. Shout out to my brother Baxter Russell, because I'm so glad somebody shouted him out, because I said we all gonna be in trouble. It was Stan and MC Fatal. Wanna acknowledge him and thank you so much, because we love him, and even though he's no longer in Texas, I want to acknowledge the contribution. We talk all the time, or every so often. He check on me, I check on him. We love on each other. We pray together, stuff like that. Like, that's my brother for real. And Baxter loves Austin, and he know where he come from, and he represented in his music and everything he do. And I pray that he get his flowers as he so deserves. So with that being said, I'll say R.I.P. rest in peace, and send love to the heavens for his brother Byron Russell. So anyway, who else? Oh, shout out to Teddy Lee. He made it. I hadn't seen Teddy Lee from Project Crew in years. I'm gonna give y'all this little piece real quick. So it was so great to see him. Like, I'm like, oh, I was hoping I'd see Claymore too. Cass looked great. When I saw him, I had to do a double take. When I saw him and Stan, I'm like, some of the guys, I'm like, now listen, y'all, I just want to put out a disclaimer. Everybody done got a little older. We win our wisdom or whatever. We done changed. I have too. I'm half of me, right? Okay, so I'm half of me, but I'm whole. And so I'm like, everybody look a little different. So if I just walk by you and we had a moment and I knew you and you knew me when, I am not trying to be disrespectful and not acknowledge you. Please say, Coolie girl, you know me, something. You know what I'm saying? That's not bowing down. That's not serving, worshiping. People, I've heard some of the wildest things. So I just had to put that out there so I can cast them demons down back to the pits of hell from which they came, because it ain't even like that, we wouldn't have had a scene. We can't have a scene with just one group. You know what I'm saying? So collectively, everybody contributed to what hip hop is and was in Austin from the very beginning. And I am very honored to be amongst some great people. So, and then Teddy Lee, I went out and met them, found out a few folks was running on over to Papados, and we met with them. And shout out to him, because he was like, yeah, I'm treating out, I'm covering all the honorees tonight. And he so deserves, even just in his own right, aside from being a part of Project Crew, to be acknowledged too as one of the pioneers, like for real. But he was able to honor others even before. He done lived his life, you know what I'm saying? He remember his superstar days and stuff, and he's still that to me. All of them imparted into who I became as a writer, even then and now. And shout out to Big G, Kingpin, and Dre, Chuck and Quince. People that wasn't mentioned, that or even if they wasn't, I missed it, but I want to make sure that I mention them as well. So and DJ Crash popped up on us later on, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bavu, who imparted some real words to me. Like, it was so powerful, y'all. I'm having a hard time putting the words where they go, and y'all know I can talk, my goodness. But Bavu, shout out to you. I appreciate you, like, what God put on your heart to say to me. Baby, I don't know. I'm just driving. You should have waited and went on, let a girl go on through. Now, you ought to learn how to swing that thing, baby. My daddy drive trucks. He can get it through anything. Okay, there you go, baby. Sorry about that. I'm on live. Okay. So, God bless your day. I want y'all to start out here. So, anyway, I'm trying to think. Anyway, he was like, yeah, I got everybody, I got your tab, that was a nice gesture. Just the fact that he was like, I just want to honor y'all. I just want to give. You know what I'm saying? That's how I saw it. I just want to make y'all feel even extra special, when he definitely deserved and earned that same seat. And at some point, I can't wait to even more and more artists and people that contribute to the music and arts of Austin as a whole are being honored, and I pray to be able to be there for every single one of them. So I honor you now as God honors you, because like I said, you his creation, and he did something great with all of us. So I'm loving it. And shout out to all those who had to endure us and support us and be there for us in our moments of despair. We need prayer, and we need a talking to, we need a checking and love and all that, and some covering and watching our backs, and just, putting up with us, riding it out with us while we try to achieve our dreams and find and figure out our way, right? So shout out to all of y'all. Mama Blanche, she showed up. Tamara's mom, she was our first, if people don't know this, Mama Blanche White Tips was our first fashion stylist, okay? She got with Kirk and was making our little old outfits for us to move around in. So God bless her for coming. I can't remember her exact ages. Mama Blanche 70 at 60 something. Anyway, she still look good. She's still breathing. I bless God for her. She's still very much a part of my life, and my heart always will be. And also along with her came my newest sister friend. But oh my goodness, when I tell you God will redeem the time, because Cassandra Braswell, that lady, it's like I've been knowing you. If you see this, I promise you, meeting her through Tamara and how she's blessed my life and my children and sowed and poured and been a vessel for God. Just, how you can see and experience people and you see God on them. You feel his love. And I'm talking about we instantly. And just like I was talking to Sister Sherry saying, we've had that, it's just like that, And I just bless her for coming and supporting and showing up. And like I mentioned earlier, Carol Reed of EWO Management coming down from Houston. So my Houston fam was represented as a whole, just in her alone hitting the road. And I know everybody can't make everything, so I'm not even going to get into the one by ones, but that's what I want. Oh, get over to the side, baby. I want to make sure I acknowledge them. Go with him. Oh. And the families of the other Coolie girls, because those families are also my extended family. So when they come support their own, I know they're there for all of us. So they extend that same love, just like when Mama Nita, Juana's mama, used to go to every show. So, baby, she is with her daughter, baby. Wherever these Coolie people is taking you, I'm going too, okay? And she be right there, letting us be us, but watching over. You know what I'm saying? She was truly that. And even though she was there for her daughter, she loved on us all. We knew she was there looking out for, keeping an eye on all of us. So shout out to her for being there. Mama Nita Rue in the building. So, and Wendy was there. Wendy used to, baby, getting that old brown, was that brown Cutlass? Baby, Wendy used to ride. We first went on our little tours to Houston when we was a little girl. We didn't have driver's license, none of that, but if Grandmommy wasn't taking us and Wendy could go, baby, Wendy was doing it. She packed Keisha and the rest of the Coolie girls. I love you, baby. God bless you. Safety first. So, baby, go on get it. Yeah, my son he fine. Baby, he, what Sandra called him, Black Jesus. Baby, that old Chino is something else, baby. Tell my mom, I think I'm a model and do some pictures. Okay, baby, you can do it. If God call you to it, go and do it. Yeah, you finna go in there and get it, okay? Work the muscles. He's on his health kick and all that. But anyway, so, yeah. I did not personally mention MC Overlord. I remember, rest in peace. I was so happy that they gave the tribute and acknowledged him, because I remember first meeting him, and I knew he was kind of on the rock rap side back then when we first met him, but he was always showing up. Like from the time we first met MC Overlord, I love people that do what they do with a hell of a grind to it, and MC Overlord was that kind of performer. He was a big guy, but he packed some power. And I like the fact that he was just, again, somebody mentioned that about him, always wanting to he didn't cuss, and he was community. He wanted to make music that children could listen to and stuff like that, and he stayed true to that. And he was one heck of an artist in Austin, and he represented that. He was 6th Street, you know what I'm saying? He was West Side, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I remember meeting him and performing with him, and then beginning to perform venues like Hip Hop City. MC Overlord, just, you always started seeing his name, and he kept it going until the day that God called him home. So that was beautiful that they would do that for him as well and acknowledge him And Nook had a conversation with him, and him sharing some stuff with me about him being 9 years old and his mom sharing, got to see her after so many years, bringing him to meet us where we were rehearsing at over there in Coronado Hills, baby. We used to get it in wherever we could. We need to practice, okay? If it was Givens or Doris Miller or somebody's house, baby, we'd have been all up in Real Lotto, baby, rehearsing in somebody's girlfriend house, okay? So, little old spot or wherever, but at the time they were in our lives, that everybody was a blessing that would open their doors and just pour into us, because it wasn't like we had, all this bread behind us and this and that. Kirk and them did what they could do, and they opened a whole lot of doors and for us, and invested in us, and just put us out there, and we stand on their shoulders for the work that they did, the people that work behind the scenes. And our road manager, Jeannie, when she used to travel with us on his behalf. And so it's just a lot of, it's so many. It's the story. One day it may be told in the movie now. I don't know how they're going to do this, but in my documentary, there's so much more to share. There's more to my story as Miss Dank. And then the Coolie Girls, we leave that, preserve that over here, right? So, but anyway, I thank y'all for just letting me share with y'all today that much. Yeah, so shout out to all the honorees last night. I'm missing somebody. Was Mirage on there? Flo Mob. Smackola was in the building. I want to shout out to Byron, Dollars and Cents. And give your flowers, baby, because you never stop short of giving me mine. Really, all the guys, y'all like big brothers and, stuff like that. Always giving us our flowers and saluting us, and that's special to me. Thank you. I love you all. Those that do what they do behind the scenes and up front, whether I talk to you daily or not, or monthly or yearly, just that you out there for what, just for your girl, for people. Just be for people as a whole. Even if you ain't for me, can you cast some sunshine somewhere in your life, at the corner store, in the shopping center, at work, wherever you are. Bring good light and good energy to people, because you never know what people are dealing with and what they're going through. Kelly, I so thank you for sharing with me, like telling me, hey, you really blessed me when you used to talk on video and used to say some things that I could relate to, and you kept it real, and I appreciate it, and I would like for you to get back on. I heard the voice of God, and I thank you, Kelly, for doing it. And I know somebody is saying, I told her that. I know. God just sent Kelly to be another reminder, because he knows sometimes his baby needs a little extra, or he's letting me know now is another time. Now is another moment for you to do this thing. Now is another moment. Come forth. It is I. That kind of thing. It's okay, baby. Because what I don't want to do is be careful to not be here for me. I'm here and sharing with you for my Father and for you, because he wants to bless you through me, through my honesty and my transparency, and just by way of testimony. So I want to do that for you, and in doing that, that's me appreciating what God has done for me. Although I couldn't thank him enough. I couldn't thank everybody that was there, even yesterday, or even when I'm online. I can't thank you enough. Even in your shortcomings, I love you. I might have to get away from you now, because you ain't good medicine now. When our demons get together, we cut up. Some people, God has, we can't be in my close circle sphere, but there are those that God has sent to truly help guide me over. When I say guide me over, great Jehovah, lead me with your powerful hand. He said, okay, I'm going to send you some hands, baby. And boy, has he sent me some amazing hands. Even if it was just for a moment, it was our moment. It was our time. And I'm always find a blessing in somebody. How my friends say, you always try, people had that 98% of BS, and you always seeing that 2%. You just want to hope on, well, I do. I want to see that 2%, but I have learned. Now. But, yeah. Everybody got something in them, and God is a forgiving God. He's a loving Father. And the good work He began, He will finish. He will finish it. So, I don't know what's next. What do you want me to say next? If y'all have questions and stuff that I dropped off and forgot the thought and didn't come back, I don't know. You're welcome to get in my inbox and share with me. You're welcome to, and I'll respond. Just give me a chance to respond, but and be patient with me, because it's a lot to hold. It's a lot to handle, and I want to do a great job. I want to be a good steward over what God has given me. And so, yeah, with that being said, shout out to you, Red, for the shirts, the Coolie Girl shirt. Did y'all see me take a picture in my Coolie Girl shirt? We was all supposed to wear them together. We'll have to get a photo shoot in that. I don't know. Everybody send y'all pictures. Let me put it together in a photo. That was so nice of you, baby. Thank you so much for making those shirts for your sisters. I wear mine with godly pride, like a good pride. I don't know. I don't want to say that ain't scripture, because you know how people do. But I'm just saying, I just thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for always supporting and encouraging me and allowing me to be who I am and stand in my position. Like them other Coolie girls, let me tell y'all what y'all don't know. Let me share with y'all this. They never stop short of saying, Erica, you did this. Erica, you deserve your flowers. Even Keisha was encouraging me, Erica, you did a good job. See, they know me. And they don't mind saying, yes, she is, how I want to say, she's the leader, how they like to say, or whatever. I thought Juana did such an amazing job when they played the video, Coolie Girls, and there was Juana speaking on our behalf. Oh man, I couldn't have done it better. God be knowing what He doing. Juana, thank you. You spoke for all of us. You really did. I love you so much. Thank you for taking time out your day and your schedule. I know life is hectic, y'all. Time is winding, baby, so it's just fast for everybody. Love you. Hey, Sally. Blessings to you, Kelly. I love you. Thank you so much. So yeah, it's a lot for me to hold, but I'm built for this. Like Linda, prophetess told me. Linda, CG4L, baby, I love you. Thank you. I'm built for it. Even though I have my tears, there's sometimes there's this joyful stuff I made it through. It hurt, but I'm surviving. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting through it. And I want to help other people get through it. So if I just be authentic and real with you, baby, it's just what it is. We too old. We can't Instagram our lives. I'm not going to Instagram my life in a way that I can't give you the real. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to always give you the real, but I want to deliver it in a way that God wants me to do it. So I had to go do my checks and balances. Shout out to Pastor Renfro and the Corinth church family over there. And anybody know me know and get word to him that I gave him a shout out on my live. You know why. Him and my church family over there. And I want to acknowledge and I pray that one day Austin will give her flowers. And I don't care how big or how known people think she was. I like to give my niece Crystal Reed her flowers, because she poured so much into her Annie by marriage. But she always said, well, see, that's my uncle, but that's my Annie, So I want to acknowledge the God in her. She's no longer here, but she's an artist as well. Rap and she gave her gift over to God and to glorify Him in her latter life, and He called her home, but I still carry her in me too. So us ministering, she always looked up to me like, Auntie, you know, God gave you this, and Auntie, you just so powerful. Or, you know, Auntie, I admire you, and I've always looked at you and admired you, and I love you so much, I really do. And this and that, always giving me my flowers. But baby, when she had to get on Auntie sometime, baby, she could do that. And she do it with the love of God. And I love her, I miss her, and she is still a part of me. And so I honor her. Every time I'm honored, you don't know how many people are being honored right along with me. And it just be going through my mind and flashing. Baby, I wonder, they owe me an ADD check. Somebody ain't told me. I'm being funny, but I'm being real. These days, my mind just be going. So it be right there, and I want to get it all out and share, but it just be so much because I want everybody to feel the love and feel special, and that, yes, I see you. You know what I'm saying? So back to, if I didn't shout out, I want to say Dollars and Cents. He was trying to connect me to Kirk and Cam Productions. I wanted them to be able to come out. But anyway, shout out to you, baby, and I pray you get your flowers too. So if I didn't finish that thought, there you go. But anyway, whatever I didn't finish, y'all want to ask me some questions. The girl, look here. I don't know what you want to tell me, but I'll just make another video based off the feedback I get from this one, okay? So there it is. I poured it out. Whoever mad, I don't know, you got the prayer about it. You didn't like, oh, she said that. I don't know, because at the end of this story, by the time people get through my books and all that stuff, when God continue to put me back where he needed me to be and continue to finish in my releasing that and get the right people on my team, documentary, all this stuff, you know, that's going to come to pass in God's time, and he will provide, he will put it all together, and all the right people will be in place, right? Not the wrong people. So we're not going to rush, and I'm not going to rush ahead of God, because I see what kind of things can happen when you let other people tell you and pull you and yank you, when God is clearly telling you, just hold on a minute, or whatever. And sometimes he just testing you, and he got this. Just don't worry about it. At the end of the day, Father God, if you seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, all these things will be added to you. You ain't gonna miss nothing. So he not gonna lose. He's just not a God is victorious, and we're more than conquerors. Remember that about yourself while you're watching me. You know, I've been through it too, and I get it, and I love you the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, like, this heart is full. Not the most, like more than God. Okay, you gotta clarify stuff on social media, but I mean, like, I love you big, real talk. I don't care about offenses. God has already took me through that master class, baby. I don't harbor nothing against nobody. I don't got time for that. I got a mandate and assignment. We got work to do, right, y'all? I love you. God bless you. God keep you and make his face to shine upon you always. And when he lead me back, I'll be right back and finish the story and tell you some more. How can people follow me? Here on my Facebook page, you know, until I get to 5,000, I try to keep it below so I can add people when I need to, or people come in and they go out. And I think I deleted some people. I didn't remember who all I deleted, and you're welcome to come back. I'm so sorry. But you can follow me at either Miss Dank Music, MZDANKMUZIK on IG. I'll get back on these pages, but I haven't really been messing with my Facebook page much. But on YouTube University, I know I haven't brought it to my Facebook. I really didn't want a lot of people to just come from that. I wanted organic following, people that didn't know me. I wanted God to use me. And then I ended up sharing with a few people. But I will tell you, I am Godmother University on YouTube. And so if you show up, I'll show up. And I'm going to show up anyway, because God is saying, baby, get back on it. Start recording videos. And actually, the ones I have been recording, I just didn't post them. I just need to figure out this technical thing about how to put my voice with the picture. Sometimes I get a little hazy on that, and I'm too busy and I don't have the time, and da-da-da-da-da. So, but I got to make time for what God calls me to do. So I got to do it to the perfection the way a coolie girl would do it, right? So I got to get it together. But those things that have come, it's not going to get past me. I can't deny it. God won't let me go. He not going to release me from it. You know, I'm like, Jesus, can this cut past me? Do I have to? Because at this point in my life, I could really just sit down, shut up, and rest. But God won't let me. And that's okay with me, because I know he got me and he's with me. And as long as he's with me, I know that I'll be fine sharing whatever I share. And so, God bless you. I love you. Yeah, we got work to do, sister. So thank you for keeping going. And that encourages me to keep going. So if you want to tap into videos that I have posted, and you want to hear what God had laid on my heart previously on that channel, it has almost 500 subscribers. It did have 500. I don't really check it a lot, because I just stayed away from it till God called me back to it. But understand, when God calls you to sit down and let him prepare you before you step forward. I think I value my platforms a lot more than maybe some people think I should. Because if you think I'm just going to jump on and say anything just because I feel like it, or I need to keep my likes up and I need to stay in people's face, I'm just not willing to do that. If God say, sit down, baby, come here. I need to share this with you. I need to clean it off for you. I need to cut them out. I see that's a trap. You know, whatever he got to do with me. And if that causes me to have to go incognito for a minute, y'all need to be all right with me. You know what I'm saying? If you're not, I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm going to do what he say do first. Okay? Ultimately, I got to follow him. Because at the end of the day, he's been the only constant, the only faithful through my whole life. People will come and people will go. And some are planted for your life. They lifers, that's true. But God will never leave me. He will never forsake me. He never has. He's always allowed me to be able to come back. When I've been pulled out in deep, straight away, he always said, oh, no, not that baby. Come here. You know, and he knocks, and I've learned to answer every time he knocks. So I will drop you like you're hot for my father. And you just got to be like that, because that's how he is. He's solid with me. So instead of me worrying about making people solid or hoping they be real with me, I already got that in my Father, in Jesus. So in the Holy Spirit, ministering to me and them angels that keep protecting me. I've been working them angels. I can't wait to hug them when I get where we're going later on. Baby, on that day, you understand me? When I see them all face to face, oh Lord. So I pray they cover you too. Y'all stay in prayer and in faith and trust God. I'll be back to share. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I'm going to give me some rest. I'm going to think about what I didn't say, who I didn't acknowledge, because I want everybody to feel the love and feel the honor just like I do. So thank you, Austin. I love you. God bless.